Hey, Pinellas County. Otis Dixon here, Florida high school graduate, class of 1996, and a proud former USF Bull. Back in the day, sports was everything to me. Now you can relive the excitement with Pinellas County Schools TV Classic Game of the Week. Watch some of the best high school players in the county leave it all on the field and the courts. Don't miss it Thursday night on PCS TV and Pinellas County School YouTube channel. You don't want to miss this classic.
Legendary coach Paul Meckley leads his Southeast Seminoles tonight against the Packers of Largo. It's opening night of the regular season of high school football, and we are thrilled to have you with us on Bright House Sports Network. The Seminoles and the Packers are coming up next. Welcome to opening night of the high school football regular season. Tonight we are in Manatee County, where the Seminoles of Southeast host the Packers of Largo on the Bright House Sports Network Game of the Week. Hello everyone, great to have you with us. I'm Drew Felios. The last time these two teams played, it was the year 2000. Southeast was led by a quarterback named Adrian McPherson, and the Seminoles routed Largo by a score of 42-0. Little bit different story tonight. Largo, a more accomplished program, and they come in here with a chip on their shoulder. Bottom line, though, tons of young talent will take the field on both sides. Not many seniors on either side starting. Southeast has a tremendous sophomore, one in particular we're going to talk about in just a second, and Largo has a tremendous sophomore and junior class total. These kids are going to be great over the next few years. They may already be very, very good. As I bring in my partner, welcome to high school football, Mark Robinson.
Hey, you know something? We dodged the weather, we dodged the lightning, but I don't think we're going to be able to dodge the thunder out there. These kids are flying around out there, Drew.
They definitely are flying around. We've seen some great talent. I know, Mark, it's been a long time since you've done a high school game, and watching some of these young kids in warm-up, I know you're saying wow, especially the quarterback for Largo. His name is Juwan Brown, and he can definitely play.
Oh, without a doubt. He's a dual-threat player. I tell you, this kid can run, throw. Watch him throw, though. He's got a tight spiral. He can deliver it in a small window. He's going to need to do that tonight to be able to have some success.
Yeah, there's one player also that does a lot of everything for the Packers. Derek Doss. He runs the football. He plays linebacker. There's no limit, Mark, to what he can do.
This kid is powerful. You see, this is a small package, but this kid packs a punch. I tell you, he's got speed. He's an upright runner, so he keeps the ball high and tight. Let's see how well he can do.
All right, for Southeast, you've got Brian Poole. He is their superstar, but did not play last week, still recovering from an ankle injury he sustained during the spring. So because he did not go last week, Southeast had to play Fort Myers without him, and they did fairly well. So they come in tonight knowing they can win without 24. But even though Poole doesn't play, a new superstar steps up by the name of Courtney Allen.
Oh, you talk about smooth out there. That's the first guy I looked out before I even looked at my program. Who is that kid there? He is so smooth effortlessly. He's catching balls, not even looking at them. And I tell you, this kid's got a lot of talent out here, and I bet he's going to have a big game.
Yeah, Southeast with 52 players on the roster. Largo only 33, so depth could be an issue as we go on here tonight. It's muggy here in Manatee County. The wind's starting to pick up just a bit. We have dodged the rain for now, and now it's all about football. Largo taking on Southeast, the game of the week on Bright House Sports Network, coming up next. John Kiker Memorial Stadium decide for Largo and Southeast, number 7 and 8 respectively. Rated in our Bright House Sports Network poll, should be an outstanding football game as we're getting set for the kickoff. Let's send it down to the third member of our crew, our Brooke Bennett.
Hey, Drew, you know, down here on the sidelines, we got to see him warm up. Juwan Brown is who I was really looking at. He started for the Packers as a freshman, but we saw last year he was out in the middle of the season due to a torn meniscus. But the word on the field and from all the coaches, he is 100% as a junior and ready to go. And this is a guy we've watched since a freshman, and I think the star power is really going to start to brew in his future.
Yeah, Mark, one thing you noticed about Juwan Brown in the warm-ups was what?
Well, you know, he's got a real tight spiral. He throws it with a lot of velocity, but he keeps his elbow down and in, not getting his full extension, so he's really not utilizing the physics of his body yet at a young age. But, I mean, that's what you learn. That's what you need to be taught as a player.
So the ball's kicked off. It'll be Derek Doss for the Packers as he gets it across the 20, and Doss still on his feet with blockers in front. Derek Doss is going to the house. Touchdown, Largo.
We talked about the power of this kid, and you saw it right there, Drew. I'm telling you, when you get a guy like that, he gets into a crowd, he utilizes his legs, he's able to power through it, and next thing you know, he's off to the house for the races for a touchdown. Now, again, this ball is fielded well out here, but notice the blocking here. Now, a lot of times the running backs and the return guys always get a little help. You got a little wall going on here, but look at the lead blocking down here, and this nice, good speed. Can't teach speed there, Drew.
So Derek Doss had 1 carry last week on offense, Mark, and it was a 75-yard touchdown. He opens tonight with a touchdown return, 91 yards on the score for Doss, as the extra point is blocked. So the lead will stay 6-0 for Largo, but how about Derek Doss? He's touched it 2 times, once for 91 yards, the other time 75 yards, both for touchdowns.
Well, it's interesting. Before they started, Drew, I said, Largo looks a little flat, and they were real quiet out there, but maybe that was focused, because obviously they were focused on this play, and they executed so brilliantly here. How can you do it? You're on the road, you come in here, you start off, you return a kick, and, how do you get the fans out of it? I don't hear a fan screaming in this stadium.
Derek Doss has gotten this Largo team out to a fast start. There's Rick Rodriguez, head coach of the Packers, his 13th season. As you take a look at the Game of the Week storylines, you're going to see some outstanding backfields here tonight. Keep an eye on the heat effect, though. As I said in the open, it is muggy down there, as we've had the threat of rain all day long, but still not really a drop has fallen just yet. And then county bragging rights on the line, Mark. Anytime you have Pinellas County coming down across the Sunshine Skyway Bridge to Manatee County, you know that the 2 programs are going to mix it up.
Oh, yeah, a lot of trash talking going on, all in good fun, all in good spirit. These 2 programs, both these programs, very successful over the career of these both coaches. I mean, both coaches in the 70th percentile in winning percentage, and, that says a lot for their program.
There's Brian Poole back to receive for the Seminoles. So the Southeast superstar in uniform on the field tonight, and he is ready to go for his first action here in 2011. Morgan Seaver kick it off for the Packers. Short kick, fielded at the 30. And a tough load to bring down is Rakeem Williams as he punches it up to the 38-yard line, and for the first time tonight, Miles Braxton Johnson will take the field for Southeast. 6 feet tall, 195 pounds at quarterback. Decent week last week against Fort Myers, but now the real test comes in the form of the Packers.
A nice little pooch kick there. I would do the same thing as a coach. I'd kick it away from that number 5, Courtney Allen. I wouldn't want him to touch the football, which they didn't allow him to do on that play.
Southeast will spread out the Packers here. They're going to want to use their athletes like they always do. Anytime you play a Seminoles team, you know that they're going to bring tremendous athleticism to the field. So the Seminoles will spread it out with 4 wide receivers. Largo with a 4-4 defense as Courtney Allen does not get much. Maybe picked up a yard before he was stopped by Devin Porter. This Southeast offense, Courtney Allen leads the way, 5 touchdowns last week. Trey Laws out wide out the top target. Jacob Sannon, Kadarius Carley, and Adam Nacht is the tight end. Nacht has been a great story over the summer, winning that job. There's the big boys up front. Keep an eye on Kevin Williams, the right guard, who's a college prospect, big time. As that ball's dropped, Trey Laws looked like had it right near his chest, but couldn't reel it in. This Largo defense, always ferocious. The Packers come to play. Harry Brown, Chris Skukelek on the inside with Sean Barker going both ways along with Devin Porter. The linebackers, Derek Doss, Cisco Hernandez, Derek Webb, and Claxton Boykin on the outside. It's the big play for the Seminoles to the 45-yard line. Kadarius Carley makes the catch, and that will be a Seminoles first down.
Yeah, and they just run the skinny post off the weak side. You get the chance at Braxton Johnson. He's going to look strong. He's going to come back on the weak side. Well thrown football here. Catching defender on the outside shoulder there. Easy throw and catch.
So a first down for the Seminoles is Braxton Johnson with his first completion. Allen does not get much. The big man Sean Barker right there to meet him at the point of attack. Is Paul Meckley, his 31st season as head coach here at Southeast. He started here, Mark, as an assistant back in 1974. Are you kidding me?
Remarkable. First person I saw when I got to the field there. He comes up to, introduces himself to me. I say, hey, Coach, I know you, and that's the kind of person he is, and he's really done a great job with this program.
Seminoles firing. It's caught. Here's the 30-yard line. This will be another first down as Jacob Sannon makes the catch.
Well, this spread formation, they have 4 wide receivers out there, 1 running back, and what they're doing is just spreading out Largo right now and trying to utilize the interior passing. They're trying to hit those interior zones because the linebackers are so tight to the line of scrimmage, they're not getting their depth underneath these receivers. They're going to have to do that if they're going to plan to stop those intermediate pass plays.
Pickup of 12 on that last play. Now from the gun. Pitch. And Allen is off to the races. There's that cutback ability down at the 15-yard line. And that will be another first down for the Seminoles.
Boy, and really such a nice job by the left tackle. Going to collapse this play here. Quick pitch out. You want to try to get it to your speed guy, Allen. And Allen's able to get up there and get a nice gain and get a first down on the play.
Courtney Allen dominated Little League football, but sat on the bench a lot last year, Mark. This high school level, much different for him. He's shining on this first drive as Largo comes up and Harry Brown comes up on the blitz and sacks Miles Braxton Johnson.
Yeah, and really a much better job there. We had a Brown on the quarterback, and then also coming out, it was Doss going to the pitch. So really nowhere for Miles Braxton Johnson to pitch this football. Smart thing, he held on to it, and he took the loss.
Second down and 15. Braxton Johnson still working out of the shotgun. Looking left and knocked out. Good play by number 11, Cordell Hudson, who was right there. Derek Webb also on the coverage, but it was Hudson, the sophomore defensive back.
Yeah, and it's a nice job, but I really like Derek Webb coming underneath that pass. We talked about it a couple plays ago. If the linebackers are able to get underneath these routes, it makes it more difficult for the quarterback to complete. Thus, he throws it high, ball's knocked down.
Third down. Dump it off. Allen got some space. Gets to the outside. Courtney Allen, touchdown.
That kid out there, watch at the end of this run. He's out there. I mean, he does a nice job. This is a setup design screen. They're going to let penetration come through and going to dump the ball over there to Allen. Now watch after Allen is able to make the first defender miss in the flat. He gets speed outside. But watch what he does. He's going to point out the blocker. Hey, block that dude and I'll score. And that's exactly what he did. He got in the end zone.
Just love the swagger that he brings to the field as well. Just a 10th grader. He is playing like a senior right now.
Oh, he really is. That's why I said the open smooth. This kid is smooth. He plays with confidence, and you normally don't see that in a younger player like this.
Extra point is up and good. So the Seminoles have the lead here in Manatee County. Courtney Allen's screen pass, taking it in for the score.
Yeah, you watch how they do a little slip screen right there. You notice how they first stop the defensive line, then let them sneak by, and then that sets it up perfectly. And really a well job of Allen in the open field, directing traffic, and getting in the end zone.
As you take a look at Courtney Allen, electrifying sophomore. Let's compare these two teams. Largo and Southeast, similar records from last year, 4 losses and 3 losses. Southeast, though, with 10 wins, they advanced deep into the postseason, got all the way to the regional final. Look at points per game. Southeast could score them. They had that great quarterback, Dyron Spate. As far as points allowed, Seminoles stingy on defense. Largo, though, with more returning starters. Southeast really wanted to get back to prominence. Mark, their enrollment had been decimated by schools opening here in Manatee County. A lot of their talent had been diluted, but now Paul Meckley has the ship going in the right direction again.
Well, you know, a dynamic coach like Meckley is able to bring players in, and really in a situation like this, you know, you want to go play for this coach. You can just tell he brings that type of dynamics to this program, and really has been successful.
Eric Christensen's kick goes into the end zone, and we've got a touchback. So Largo takes the opening kick and goes 91 yards with Derek Doss. Southeast responds with a touchdown from Courtney Allen, and now Juwan Brown in this Largo offense will work for the first time tonight as the rain has started to come down here at Southeast. Juwan Brown talked about his throwing already, but he is a threat to run the football as well. Had a great week last week doing that against Clearwater. 3 rushes, 73 yards in that contest. Here's Jarvis Stewart. Not much, as the Southeast defense was right there. Michael Bowden made the stop. There's the Largo skill players. Jarvis Stewart leads the way with Harry Brown, Lakeith Daniels, Raheem Harvey, and Chris Skukalek, the dynamic tight end. The front line, Sean Barker at right tackle, and Derek Tottle, second year, starting at center for the Packers. Second down and long. Brown, pitch, Stewart able to get that edge and pick up 14 yards before he's knocked out of bounds.
Or he's ridden out of bounds there, you know, really at the end of the play. He actually shrugs off the tackle there. Bradshaw comes up. I don't think Bradshaw wants any more of Stewart on this play. Watch out, he's going to throw him out a little bit. Oh, got to get your pad level down, son. Get your pad level down.
10th grader.
Yeah, you know, and, you know, Stewart, I mean, so successful, you know, very productive runner. You can tell great body control, good strength in the lower part of his body. He's able to make plays.
Derek Doss now on the carry. He's gang tackled. This Southeast defense with Billy Roberts, Michael Bowden, Rakeem Williams, and Tommy Wilkinson, an experienced front four. But here's where they're new at linebacker. Peterson Ford, Terrence Houston, Jimmy Porter trying to replace the dynamic Desmond Blue from a year ago. And the secondary with Eric Thompson, Irvin Bradshaw, Jordan Grabsky, a second-generation player for the Seminoles, and Brian Poole, superstar, also playing in the secondary. On 2nd and 12, they'll hand off and a slip at the 28-yard line as the rain comes down that field a little bit wet.
Yeah, and you know, and if it probably wasn't raining on there, this ball would have probably been bounced outside. Nice block at the point of attack by Skukalek, the tight end, and you see Stewart wanted to get inside. If he could have dipped it in and popped it back outside, had a lot of running room outside, but probably the turf and the rain has caused the problem on that play.
Jarvis Stewart reads his blocks very well. Coaching staff earlier this week raved about the progress he has made from his freshman year to this year. As Juwan Brown sets up the screen nicely, but Stewart cannot hang on.
Yeah, it was a middle screen there, and you know, we're gonna get a kind of look over here of Coach Rodriguez, but you know, this is a middle screen. The ball gets put in the middle of the field. Had some chances on this play, but it was third down, third and long. Third and long, there's not many plays in the playbook there. You don't want to throw a turnover in your possession. You take a good look there. Rodriguez right there on the sidelines. But now Largo's forced to punt.
13th season for Rick Rodriguez at the helm at Largo. Coming up on 100 wins. He's got 96 right now as a head football coach for the Packers. High kick. And it takes the bounce at the 44. It'll be down at the 45-yard line as Tyler Gilpin has it down. And look at these Southeast Seminoles, a 6-game win streak to end the regular season. Another district title, more tradition added to this Seminoles program. Took down Lake Wales and Winter Haven in the postseason, but lost a great offensive player in Dyron Spade and a great defensive player in Desmond Blue. Also, Teron Williams. It's part of the battle in high school football, Mark, replacing great talent year after year. As Braxton Johnson now takes off Nice gain as he lowers his shoulder, and he's got 7 yards to the 47.
And they're trying to get a flag at the end of the play there. Getting hit out of bounds, Braxton Johnson on the play there. But this is a well-designed play. You're going to look inside at the read option, going to look inside. Johnson's going to keep it and get outside. A little extracurricular activity on the sideline, but not enough to throw a flag.
So right now, Braxton Johnson not in the game as Southeast sets up once again. And Mark Robinson, I think we're going to have a little Wildcat here.
Little Wildcat. Let's see what they got here.
Ryan Poole is the quarterback. He takes it himself, and Poole is going to be stopped by Devin Porter. Did not pick up much on that play. Let's send it down to Brooke Bennett. Brooke, what's the deal with Brian Poole?
Well, we see Brian Poole out on the field. He didn't play during that preseason kickoff classic due to an ankle injury that he suffered in the spring. It's still questionable, but the trainers tell me he is 100%, but they really want to monitor it. So you might see him more playing as the cornerback tonight, but as you can see, they're trying him off offense early.
So Poole now on the sidelines. You look at the numbers. Braxton Johnson looks right, throws. And this one perfect. Caught by Kadarius Carley, his second catch tonight at the 41-yard line, and it's good for a first down. 4 of 6 so far for Braxton Johnson.
Yeah, and Braxton Johnson's looked real sharp early in the football game there. They had a read option over there on the right side where the receiver's going to hook short, and then they're going to go deep, and they actually read the linebacker. The linebacker came up, throw it behind him. Good play.
We're halfway through this first quarter. 7-6 your score. Southeast leads Largo. You're watching the game of the week. Great to have you with us tonight on Bright House Sports Network as we welcome in the 2011 season. Southeast 7-6 over Largo as the Seminoles back to the ground game. And this is short gain inside the 40-yard line. Southeast working against that Largo defense.
Well, this time they go with 2 running backs in the play. And what this is going to create is going to create a little bit of deception as far as where's the ball for the Largo defensive line. These guys, they got their hand in the dirt. They can't see the ball. You ride that option inside to your halfback, and then you come around with the option look. The defensive line has no idea where the ball is.
Start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Even though both of these teams have one preseason game under their belt, Southeast took down Fort Myers last week. 38-28 was the score. Largo took on Clearwater and beat them 52-7. Still, Paul Meckley said coming into this game, we still don't really have a good gauge where we are because still the games haven't counted yet, and we haven't played a team the caliber of Largo.
I mean, very difficult. I mean, you look across all the leagues. I mean, the NFL, you got 4 preseason games. College, you go away, you have no idea what's going to happen, where your team is, and generally that's what happens. Mostly, though, defenses usually stay ahead of the offense, but right now the offense looks pretty sharp here.
And that's going to be a horse collar tackle on Braxton Johnson as he tried to get away. This is illegal in high school football.
Yeah, it really isn't. It shouldn't have a place in there.
Horse collar, defense. 15 yards into the run, first down.
Yeah, it makes it real difficult. You get out there, and Harry Brown gets, flagged for this, but he does a nice job with his feet. He does a good job of reaching, but anytime you get towards that collar, you got to stay off of that because they're going to call that, 9 times out of 10.
How often do you see that, Mark, in the college game?
It comes up, the players, you coach around it. The game is so fast. Each level from high school to college, from college to pro, the game becomes so fast. Sometimes it's an accident. It happens out there, but they do have to do away with that because that's a very dangerous play.
First down to the end zone and a hard hit near the goal line as the ball was intended for Larry Woodard. But coming up was Jonathan Crawford with an outstanding shot.
Boy, and just tight coverage here. This is well played here by Largo. Underneath coverage, over top with the safety. Hey, I kind of like that. I started kind of twitching in the press box here. When you get a shot like that, you want to take it. That's a big job there by the kid. Crawford, he comes across in good vision. That's good vision and range by the safety.
Second down. Braxton Johnson into the flat. Carley makes the catch. Boy, Kadarius Carley having a big game so far. And he's out of bounds at the 15, very close to a first down.
Yeah, And really, this play, that comes to Carly, he makes a good adjustment for the ball. Not the best pass there by Braxton Johnson, but he's able to corral this ball in, get up the sideline, protect the ball, and make the most out of the play.
That will be a first down for Carly. Southeast, very young wide receivers. Carly just a sophomore. Braxton Johnson did not get the impression from head coach Paul Meckley that they were very confident in their passing game at the beginning of this week. But so far, it has looked like it is executed to perfection as Courtney Allen takes a couple shots and bounces it inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, you really got to check the run when you're up front, the defensive tackle position. They were going back. They want to get a sack out here, and you've always got to check the running back in the backfield because you get a draw like this play, and it can be dangerous. Largo's fortunate that wasn't a touchdown on the play.
Chris Skukulek on that defensive line for the Packers. 2nd down and 5. Southeast threatening again. Courtney Allen with the speed. Oh, he takes a shot at the 5-yard line. I'll tell you what, this Largo Packers team can hit. Once again, it was Jonathan Crawford.
Yeah, they've done a nice job, and Crawford's showing us that he's not a one-hit wonder. He comes out and makes another nice hit on Allen as Allen tries to cut back on this play. Very close to the first down. Looks like it's a 3rd and short on the play.
Look at that hit mark being a former safety. Is that good technique?
Well, you lower your body and you come with your powers in your legs, and that's what you got to do. Although right now he's lined up deep in the end zone. Got to remember where you are on the field. Crawford better crawl up a little bit.
3rd down, inches to go. Allen works his way through the inside, and he's close to the goal line. He will have a Seminoles first down. It'll be 1st and goal for Southeast.
Yeah, for the young running backs, they're watching this game right now. Watch how he continues to move his legs at the end of the run. He got hit in the backfield, Allen does on this play, but his ability to keep his legs moving enabled him to get the power to get the extra yards for the first down.
So far, I'm impressed by this Southeast offense.
Well, they are. They're spreading it around. They're getting it to their playmakers and really keeping Largo off balance so far.
So on 1st and goal, Allen will try it. And does he get to the goal line? Yes! Touchdown, Southeast.
See Courtney Allen, I tell you, this kid, he's getting some mileage in this football game. You can tell, again, he gets the football. He has a nose for the end zone. He lowers his pad level again and is able to, power his way in the end zone. I like that play. They spread the field, but they still attack the middle of the field, make you stop them. They didn't make a silly mistake trying to throw a ball and get a fumble or an interception.
Eric Christensen on for the extra point. And the kick is up, and it's good. So Southeast takes a 14-6 lead over Largo here in this opening regular season game on Bright House Sports Network. Is Southeast looking to move up the rankings? The Seminoles already in the top 10 of our Bright House Sports Network media poll. The Armwood Hawks impressive on the road at Las Vegas last week, and you got Manatee and Lakeland. Everyone's wondering, is Plant the same this year? A big matchup with Jesuit in South Tampa. That's going to be a huge game tomorrow night.
Oh, there's some exciting football ahead. I tell you that. You look at that lineup there, and that's the way it should be. I tell you, it brings the highlight to this area, and I think really it'll be interesting to see how the season unfolds, because even though you start fast, it doesn't mean you're going to finish fast, and that's what these teams, as they continue to grow, if they can stay healthy and continue to grow, they will succeed.
And tomorrow night we are in South Tampa, Dad Stadium, Plant High School. Mark, this game is sold out. I wish you were going to be with me. Jeff Carlson joining me in the booth. It'll be a packed house, and what a show Jesuit and Plant will be. That's tomorrow night live, Bright House Sports Network. So if you don't have a ticket, hey, turn on your HD TV and just enjoy the night with us.
Well, what does Carlson know, Who's this guy, Carlson? Tell him I said that, okay? I love you, Jeff. It's all right. It's all good.
Jesuit and Plant 4 and 5 respectively. So that drive for the Seminoles, 10 plays, 55 yards, 3 minutes, 36 seconds. Southeast is 2 for 2 on scoring drives. Christensen puts it in the air. taken near the 12-yard line. And this is Raheem Harvey. As Harvey works up towards the 30. And the Largo offense will take the field once again.
Well, good job directionally kicking there. I mean, you got to keep it out of number 5, Derek Doss's hands, and that's exactly what they're able to do here. You know, really a nice job of, you know, Christensen getting that ball directionally over there and hold them in, because remember last time it was out the gate, Drew.
So the Packers got 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen. Ron Brown hands it off. It's Jarvis Stewart. And Stewart along the left side picks up 3 yards. And if you take a look at this Largo team, Mark Robinson, they've all got brand new shoes here tonight. All shoes for the entire football program, courtesy of Kansas City Chiefs running back Dexter McCluster, former Largo star, purchased $6,000 worth of shoes for the entire program.
Did Dexter know that we were doing this game? Maybe he could have shown us a little love, Drew. You know, giving us some shoes here. I could use some shoes. You know, don't get the shoe contracts anymore. Not pros anymore. Man.
Well, trouble for the Packers. Jarvis Stewart is down after that last play.
Yeah, a lot of times that happens on those low plays. You notice how low it was actually on the play. It was Poole coming up from his cornerback position, and he went real low below the kneecap, and many runners can't really maneuver when you get below the knee right there, and that's exactly what happened to Stewart. He does get up and walk off the field under his own power, but you can tell he's in some pain.
That is one football player Largo cannot afford to lose, as Coach Rodriguez right there with him. This Largo program so hard-nosed. But it's amazing, Mark, when you look at their roster. I mean, I got a copy of their roster, and I looked at it and I said, okay, where's page 2?
Yeah. Hey, it's like Johnson, get in the game. Tired, coach, get it. You got to get in the game anyway.
Straightforward. Nice run.
Great running there.
That's Harry Brown, the big running back. Junior. There's a look at the Largo roster breakdown. And seniors, 12 juniors. Solid coaching staff as well to go with it. Coach Rodriguez assisted by Jeremy Frew, Ryan Taylor, Dave Angelo, Eric Wilson, Carl Gregory. Inside run once again, and this is going to pick up 4. So Harry Brown shows that he can get it done when Jarvis Stewart is not on the field.
Well, coming into the game, Coach Rodriguez said, hey, we got to run right at these guys. We want to take their speed out of the game. Don't spread the field. Let's go at them and run it right at them. And that's what they're starting to go back to in their game plan, and it's starting to be effective.
Largo knew that they did not want to try and match Southeast athlete for athlete and try and spread the field, because they're playing right into their hands. Second down, about 5. Go straight ahead. Packers pounding. Nice run. A flag is down at the 44-yard line, so this play may be coming back.
What a great run, though. Did you see the acceleration there? I mean, this should have been a no gain or possibly a loss on the play, and just moving those legs. I mean, Dawson's off, but, you know, unfortunately, it is going to be a penalty against Largo. Is going to back him up some yards.
Derek Doss, pound for pound, one of the best football players around.
I mean, that shows a lot. When college coaches come in and take a look at film.
10-yard spot. Replay second down.
It's not always the 60-yard touchdown runs that they're looking at. They're looking at the small things. And that showed me a lot by this young man, of his ability to turn and cut and move that quickly and get to his full speed and make a play for his team.
This Largo team not afraid to play that power football, Mark, because when Juwan Brown was out last year midway through, they went to that single back, that single wing offense rather, and it was basically like Wildcat all the time.
Yeah, and the problem with that is if you get penalties and put yourself in 2nd and long, 3rd and long, that's when you're going to have some problems, and they've got to play flawless football if they do that.
Juwan Brown's going to be picked off. Brian Poole has the football, and he's across midfield. Inside the 40, down at the 38.
Boy, just thrown into coverage here, actually into double coverage, and really had a receiver behind the 2 defenders, but threw this ball short. Not a very good pass there. on the play by Juwan Brown. You know, and it's almost a sense that he didn't step into this throw here because he had a receiver and the ball kind of floated a little bit, and this is what the end result is, interception, Southeast football.
Ryan Bull makes his first big play, still wondering where he's going to play at the next level. Is it in the secondary or possibly at running back? I think he made a pretty good case right there where he's going to be.
Yeah, oh yeah. Kid's got some skills, and they talk about him. He's got good offensive numbers.
Snap, coachman, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, good defensive numbers. A lot of times if you're versatile like that, you can go to a program and, have the ability to cross over and, maybe start on offense and then be a defensive player. You really become valuable for the school that gets an opportunity to have you be on their team.
Well, first down and 5. Allen takes the handoff and still able to surge forward. He was hit near the line of scrimmage by the big man Sean Barker, but he has kept those legs moving.
Yeah, he really did, and Sean wreaked some havoc back there. He made the center get up awful slow there. Toddle on the play. He's back in the huddle, but he was getting a little battle going on.
There's Peter Warwick, former Florida State Seminole, one of the great all-time football players in the Seminoles program. Southeast star back in the early 90s, won 2 state championships when he was suiting up for the blue and orange. As Allen takes it along the outside. Courtney Allen is corralled and he's tackled at the 25. But Peter Warwick, Mark, I know you've seen a lot of football players in the past. At the college and the high school level, he was dynamic.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, very accomplished player, and it's great to see him come back here and bring his knowledge, his influence back to the program, teach these kids. Many players, do a better job. Some do a better job than others. Peter Warwick is one of those guys that come back and is giving back to the program.
Yeah, Warwick, just a tremendous ambassador now for the Seminoles, the Southeast Seminoles, and the Florida State Seminoles. Right now we're wondering what the case is with Jarvis Stewart, the great Largo Packer running back. Let's send it down on the field. Brooke Bennett, what's up?
Drew, well, you can see that I'm over on the Largo side, and they're still really looking at Jarvis. He's doing some drills running up and down the field. Look like straightforward, he's okay. A little bit of immobility when he tries to go side to side. So I think they're going to keep testing him out to see how he's doing. I can tell he's anxious to get back on the field, but the trainer is kind of trying to hold it back, and they're still discussing this one out to see if they can put him back on there. But like you said, Drew, this is a roster that is short on numbers. They need him back out on the field tonight.
Yeah, big time as we've reached the end of the first quarter. The score, the Southeast Seminoles 14, the Largo Packers 6. Thank you so much for watching the Game of the Week on Bright House Sports Network. The second quarter is coming up next. The Largo Packers trail the Southeast Seminoles 14-6. Drew Felios, Mark Robinson, Brooke Bennett. And the big question mark for Largo is their running back, Jarvis Stewart, going to re-enter the football game. This is what happened just a few minutes ago.
Well, the sophomore running back, he bounces this ball outside. Notice the low shot there. And you can see when his cleat gets caught in the ground right there, it becomes pretty gruesome in that situation where he got a hyperextension almost, it looked like there. Very fortunate it wasn't something worse than that. We don't know what it is yet, the actual injury, but that's a pretty tough hit there.
First down and 10. Poole into the game, and he takes the pitch. Ryan Poole, tough running. And he is down to the 14-yard line. That's going to be a Southeast first down.
Well, when you dominate the offensive line, you're going to get, we call these downhill runs. Notice how the runner Poole was able to, before he's even touched, he's 7-8 yards down the field right there, and it's when you're starting to win the battle up front, and you got some hosses up front there for the Southeast Seminoles, and they're really starting to impose their will at this point.
The 13, first down. Braxton Johnson pitches to Poole again. He's swallowed by the Largo defense. Derek Doss going to have to play a key role. Also Claxton Boykin there to make the stop.
it's funny when a running back gets a ball like that, he looks at the quarterback, why'd you get a ball to me? You know, why don't you take the shot? Because a lot of times, you know, there were more defenders, you know, around Poole on that play. Instead, Braxton Johnson decides to pitch this football.
So far in this game, Mark, Southeast dominating the time of possession. Also, here on 2nd and 12, Braxton Johnson looks one way, throws the other, and the Seminoles have their 3rd touchdown of the game as Trey Laws reels it in near the goal line. And the Seminoles offense just keeps on steamrolling.
Well, really the best pass of the day by Braxton Johnson. He throws a back shoulder throw here. Now this ball is coming inside, and you'll see the safety creep in the situation on this skinny post on the backside here. And notice how he throws it on the backside away from the defender. And I mean, that's a well thrown ball. If that's what he meant to do, that's a heck of a pass there.
So Braxton Johnson, boy, what a first half he has put together. 6 of 9, and a guy who did not look confident at all times last week against Fort Myers really has gotten it done so far. In fact, he looked a little bit stiff last week in that game, but he's got a 3.8 GPA and he's willing to learn, a great attitude, and right now it looks like everything's kicking in.
Well, you know, I mean, he does a nice job of delivering the football. You can see his mechanics are there. To me, that tells me the coaching is there because, you know, he looks off, he comes back, he realizes when he looks to the left side, he's going to pull the safety just enough so he can come back to the right side and try to hit that post route. But even when the safety came over, when he threw that ball on the outside shoulder, I mean, that's big league. That's what you hear about in the NFL, how the players are taught now. When you're in coverage, you can still get the ball to your receiver if you throw it in the proper place.
Last touchdown scored by that guy right there, Trey Laws, 6'3", a huge target for the Seminoles. I mentioned Miles Braxton Johnson, Mark, and just the psyche of a quarterback. His coach telling us that he's not expected to win games, just rely on his running game, kind of just let the game come to him, but he has looked like he has been initiating the action tonight. He is on the attack.
Well, he is, and I think that he has a good understanding of the game. And, you know, the coaches have come in and said, okay, when you do this, this is how they're going to respond. And I think I could see that progression going through with them. And sometimes it takes players a long time to catch that, but it's evident to me that, you know, he's seeing some things out there and making some plays because of it.
This ball fielded by Raheem Harvey. Let's take a look at the Largo season in review from a year ago. District champions for the 6th straight time. Only 3 regular season losses, but that's the most in the past 7 years. Juwan Brown went down in week 5 against Tarpon Springs and changed the rest of their approach the rest of the year, understandably, and they were knocked out by Hillsboro in the first round of the playoffs. They knocked out Hillsboro the year before that, so the Terriers got a little payback as this is caught by Skukalek at the 41-yard line, and number 80 has his first catch of the game.
Yeah, and really a well-designed play. They go to a 3-level route, a short receiver, an intermediate receiver, and a deep receiver, and Brown does a good job of identifying the coverage, throws it to the intermediate receiver. They get a big first down.
Coach Rodriguez right now, I bet you, shocked, especially after his team dominated last week when you score 52 points. And to face the blitzkrieg he's faced so far.
Well, you got to stay away from turnovers in situations like this, and you know you got to make plays because you want to make big plays, but you also don't want to give the play away in your territory because then you give Southeast a shorter field, and being up 21-6, I mean you start losing your edge a little bit. I think they got to stick with their plan, continue to run the football, but mix in some passes when they get a chance.
That last play, a loss of 1 as Meckley and company go over the offense. 2nd down, 11. John Brown able to pick up 3 along the right side. They'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 as this Largo Packers coaching staff shuffled just a bit when Matt LePayne, the defensive coordinator, is now the head coach at Palm Harbor University. Jeremy Freyu becomes the full-time defensive coordinator, and Ryan Taylor took over the offensive coordinator duties last season. He's running this Southeast attack right now. Palm Harbor, that's your neck of the woods, Mark.
That's right there. I know. I sneak up there all the time and watch some of the practices. They don't know why. I just sit out there. I like to see football.
Here's Juwan Brown, able to roll out, hit his man at midfield. The ball comes out, though, and the Southeast Seminoles have recovered.
Wow, what a hit over there. I mean, this was a completion and a first down it would have been. And then, you know, just coming up and really putting the head on the football there is just such a splendid job there by Poole. He knocks the ball off. He's already had an interception. Now he's got a forced fumble, puts his team in A1 position in Largo territory, and they're knocking at the door again.
Well, Brian Poole has made some huge plays in this game. And every time it seems like the cameras are on him, Brian Poole seems to step up. He had some big plays last year on the Game of the Week. We're going to show you in just a second.
And he's probably not even at 100%. You know, he's out there, and you know the kid is really doing. You know, it's good to see a guy come out here and see what they want to do. This is from last year here, and I mean, look at this kid. I mean, he's got some speed too. You know, when you have the skills, get interceptions, force fumbles, and have the ability to tuck the ball and run like that, I mean, you could tell there's some guys up here from a few colleges looking at that kid. Good player.
Well, Mark, right now he is fully committed to the University of Florida. Here he is again, taking the handoff from Dyron Spate.
Just didn't want to change colors. That's all. I know it too.
Well, still you're going from Seminoles to Gators.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Sean Barker, big number 75. I haven't called his name very much tonight, but this is a player that has made waves for Largo so far in this preseason. Had a big defensive performance last year against Sickles. Mark Royals and I did that game. Barker dominated the defensive line. He's going both ways tonight.
Well, you know, he's a load in there, and we've talked about him. Normally the defensive tackle's in there. You don't really say much about him, but when you wreak havoc in the backfield and you start seeing, you know, tackle for losses, penetration, pressures on quarterbacks, you got to give him some love, show him some love out there, and that's exactly what he's done.
Thrown behind the receiver as Laws was the intended target, incomplete.
Yeah, this is an important series right here. You fumble, I mean, you get a fumble in your territory. Largo's defense is out on the field. It's third and, you know, about 5 yards right now, and they're hanging in there. And these are the plays that can change the game. If they're able to force a punt in this situation, get the ball back, they didn't hurt themselves in this situation, and they remain in this football game.
So here at Southeast High School, the Seminoles and the Packers. On Bright House Sports Network, 3rd down and 5 for Southeast. Braxton Johnson pump fakes and now takes off. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20, down to the 17.
Boy, and we talked about it, Drew. The kid is seeing some things out on the field. I mean, you know, he notices downfield the coverage, and he's able to figure out, say, hey, they're man coverage. If I tuck the ball, there's not a spy or there's not a zone player to come up and tackle me before I get the first down. Smart football there by Braxton Johnson.
105 total yards for Braxton Johnson. Had a big scramble. And right now, Southeast 4 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. They're getting it done. Braxton Johnson, not the most mobile quarterback, but has the confidence to take off again, and Claxton Boykin meets him after he picks up 2. So far, it's been the quarterback, Braxton Johnson, for Southeast.
Yeah, and really doing a fine job of managing the game, spreading it around to the playmakers and letting them make some plays for them. But then every once in a while coming up big, and like you saw the scramble for the first down, and we're taking a look at right now, knowing that he can make those plays for his team.
Fires incomplete that time, as that ball intended for Jacob Sanin, their wide receiver weapon for the Seminoles.
Braxton Johnson, I mean, it's only one half of a football game, but the leadership is starting to come out. You can just see how the players around him are playing for him, and they're listening to him. They're looking at their leader, and really that's a big integral part of why they've been so successful in this first half.
3rd down and 8. Thrown towards the end zone, and a nice play defensively. Well covered by the Largo secondary. And that's number 6, Francisco Hernandez, getting a hand in there.
Well, this time when you scramble out of the pocket like this, a lot of times the defenses change. Now you notice, you see number 2 coming over there. Daniels was coming in the picture. If he throws this ball outside, this is a pick. And this may have been a pick 6 because he was on the sidelines. very fortunate this ball got knocked down in it because it was thrown into coverage.
Well, this defense for Largo, Mark, I mentioned before that Matt LePain, their defensive coordinator for a year ago, is now the head coach at Palm Harbor. So Jeremy Freud, who was the defensive line coach, promoted to defensive coordinator, and you can just tell by looking at Coach Freud that he is an intense football coach.
You know, you need that. I mean, you got to have some coaches who are communicators, and you have to have some guys who are, authoritative, who really come out and force, sometimes it can work with the kids. I mean, and command the respect. I mean, just look how the players are looking at him, just standing around him. You can tell that the players are in tune to every word that he's saying out there right now, and that's a special characteristic for a coach.
Also a physical education teacher at Largo, and one time he played offensive line at Tarpon Springs and used to block for Atif Austin, a great running back in the day, who's now the head coach at Tarpon Springs. So Freud's played some football in the past as well. And if I was a player, I wouldn't want to mess with my head coach, particularly him.
No. Hey, Coach, what do you mean you get you a Diet Coke, anything, Coach?
4th down and 8. Southeast will go for it. Braxton Johnson on the run, and a flag is going to come out.
Boy, an unfortunate situation there. You get Courtney Allen, he breaks off his route, and he does a nice job of getting width where his quarterback can see him and be on the same visual line so he can get the ball to him. But then coming up just a little too quickly, number 6, Hernandez, if he steps around, he makes the interception, he could have just let the tackle, and it would have been 4th down and turnover on downs. I mean, and those are the plays that'll hurt you and kill you, that your coach will come back, son, what are we doing? Let's think out there. Let's play smart football.
Yeah, it would have been well shy of a 1st down.
Pass interference, defense. Half the distance in the goal, reverse 1st down.
That's the 5th penalty on the Largo Packers. Southeast only has 1 on their side.
Well, it's funny because Hernandez did everything right on that play. He kept his eyes to the ball. He moved his zones. He slid. He saw the ball. And then when the ball was thrown, instead of playing the ball, he played the man. And that's where he ran into trouble right there. And that's a learning experience, something that he'll develop and grow from.
So 1st down and goal from the 8-yard line. Largo unable to slow down this Southeast attack so far. Another big tackle made by Derek Doss, just flying up from the right side of your screen.
Well, Derek Doss is a running back. He sees this play all the time. He sees a little draw. I know that play. I'll just step up and make the tackle. And that's why you can be a running back, play linebacker. That cross training really does help you in identifying plays.
Mentioned Dexter McCluster, great Largo player of the past. Can't forget about other talent like Marcus Pascal, Brent Harvey, Leonard Johnson, Mike Mary, Mike Douglas. All gone on to the big time. As under pressure, Braxton Johnson, and this is incomplete. It could be a grounding, as the officials now will talk about it.
Yeah, and that showed great speed there by Devin Porter. I mean, he runs, he runs down Braxton Johnson on his play. He shows some real good speed and some acceleration there. Could have easily, like you said, Drew, it could have easily been a grounding on the play.
See, he gets outside of the pocket, but still no one really in the vicinity when he lets it go.
Well, nice job. Didn't grab the horse collar, did use his hands, so was able to get out there. That's just a nice football play.
3rd down. Braxton Johnson over the middle, and no one there in the zip code. It's incomplete. Last 5 passes for Miles Braxton Johnson have been incomplete. I guarantee you maybe this rain has just a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. And, you give Largo some credit, too, because their linebackers have done a better job of dropping in their zones, making it tighter windows for Braxton Johnson to throw into. This time when Carly came across, he wasn't quite sure this football was going to be thrown to him, and it was a little high, but he didn't even really try to reach for it.
So Eric Christensen comes on for what is a 26-yard field goal. Here's the kick. It's up as a flag comes down, and the kick is good. It's going to be a holding, though, so they'll wipe out the kick. and Southeast will probably try this one again.
Man, hate to take points off the board there. I tell you, that was close. That kick looked a little wide to me from this angle, but obviously the officials are right under there saying it went good, but in any event, they're going to have to back up.
Well, the kicking game for Southeast has been a bit of an adventure as well.
Offense, 10 yards from the spot, 4th down, 28.
Andrew Hoyle, 83, Eric Christensen, 84. Christensen, a sophomore, Hoyle, a junior, both battling it out in camp and right up until week 1 last week when they shared duties, and that's a competition that's still ongoing as you take a look at Christensen right there.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to have to come and kick this one again. It's a longer shot. I wouldn't be surprised they go for it in this situation.
And I think, Mark, that's what they're going to do. So they'll spread it out on 4th down and goal from the 20.
Trey Law's in the slot, the 6'3" receiver. I would be surprised they throw it up to him.
Down the middle, open was Courtney Allen. It falls incomplete, but now a flag comes down, and this is going to be an illegal hit on the quarterback.
Yeah, the hands to the helmet is what the referee is saying in that situation. And Largo can't catch a break right now. They're sitting in there trying to hang on, down 21-6 right here, and, would have had the ball over on downs. Instead, they get a penalty, and this is an automatic 1st down. Now see if you come in late right here, and
Personal foul, helmet contact, gets a defense. Half the distance, still 4th down.
If you notice there, Braxton Johnson got hit from one angle in his shoulder pad, it looked like, and the defender's coming by with a hand, and the hand hits him in the head, but it's almost what created it was the actual penetration from the other side. So the game's so fast, it's hard to make those calls, and it's unfortunate for Largo on that play.
So a timeout called by Largo. Coach Friou laying into his team right now. A couple of mental breakdowns and the pass interference and the illegal hit on the quarterback. And I guarantee that's what Coach Friou is telling his team right now.
It's a little bit.
Well, Manatee County, Mark, tons going on as Palmetto and Bayshore, 2 up-and-coming teams, look to challenge Southeast this year in the district. Manatee's got a date with Don Bosco Prep next week. The Hurricanes, one of the top teams around in the state. And you look at some of the best players right here. Manatee's Clinton Heaven and Southeast Ryan Poole. Manatee's always got stars coming out one after the other. Mike Blakely, one of those from last year. But now they've got a quarterback by the name of Cord Sandberg. Remember that name.
Okay.
Mark Robinson, left-hander, southpaw, completed 75% of his passes last year as only a sophomore.
Wow. There's a lot of talent down here in Florida in particular, and you're starting to see, you can play year-round football, those 7-on-7s that the kids get into these days, and they go to these camps now, and they get to show their skill, and that's big, and that's where it's going to give a lot of exposure to these athletes.
Yeah, we had a chance to check out that Elite Ignite football combine earlier this year. Great talent around here in the Bay Area on display here tonight. Drew Felios, Mark Robinson, and Brooke Bennett here at Southeast High School. The umbrellas are out tonight as the rain continues to come down, and Coach Friou looking for this Largo defense to come up with a big stop here on 4th down and goal. The throw to the end zone intended for Trey Laws is incomplete. And finally, the Largo defense holds up.
And when the coaches sit over there and they talk and bring you back in, that's so successful for Largo now. Largo comes out and say, hey, look, we executed. Now let's make a play ourselves and get back in this football game. A good job of pressure by the corner on the outside, linebacker underneath, and that's how you play football.
That drive for Southeast, 11 plays, only 29 yards, but once again, nearly 3 minutes taken off the clock. Southeast continues to dominate time of possession. Juwan Brown back on the field for the Packers. They'll take it up near the 15-yard line as Jarvis Stewart has re-entered the game. Keep an eye on number 20. We'll be watching how he responds to that hyperextended knee.
Yeah, he's back in there. It doesn't seem to be limping anyway. You know, a tough guy. You know, that was a big hit right there. And sometimes some guys would sit on the sidelines and wouldn't even attempt to get back in, but he's in the football game.
2nd and 5. Stewart makes the cut. Oh, he's looking good. To the outside. What a run by Jarvis Stewart. Across midfield and down at the 35. So he's back, and he looks like he is 100%.
Man, what a run there. I tell you, you expect him to, you know, get a little 5-yard carry or something here, and he about takes this to the house right now. When he went off the right side, he noticed that the ball went back in his left hand, and he cut to the left side easily, and he even shifts the ball on the run there and still is able to maintain his speed and pick up a huge play for his football team.
A 50-yard gain for Jarvis Stewart. Well, that kind of reminds you a little bit Adrian Peterson. What do you think?
I know. He broke away from the pack. Broke out the pack from the Packers.
Give it to him again. And this time he's met in the backfield. Still able to surge forward, but Peterson Foy, one of those new linebackers for Southeast, met him just as he got to the line of scrimmage. This Southeast linebacker core, Mark, as I mentioned, when we were calling out the defensive guys, all these guys are new. Peterson Foy, Terrence Houston, Jimmy Porter, all experiments from head coach Paul Meckley.
And really, that's why you stay with your game plan if you're Largo, because you hope you're going to be able to pop some runs, and hopefully the young linebackers make a mistake here or there and give you some opportunities.
Brown now. Looked like he was going to pitch, but kept it himself. A heady play as he's down to the 24, and he's going to have a Largo first down.
Wow, that's it. That's Sports Center right here. I tell you, when you come out here and give the fake pitch and tuck it in there, really a nice shot. That's good field awareness right there by Brown.
That was a basketball play, looked like.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Fake the no look and take it to the hole.
So Largo on the move. Their best drive of the game. There's 6 points coming from a kickoff return to start. And now Southeast with a few mental breakdowns.
Well, you know, you get a few plays on you. You try to dig in there and time the snap count, and then you get an offsides there. And, you know, Southeast has got to maintain their poise in this situation.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
Even though you see Largo, the Packers, knocking on the door right now.
Jumping off sides, Michael Bowden, defensive lineman, 220 pounds up front. Still first down. Brown to the outside. Oh, nicely played. Eric Thompson came up to make the stick as soon as that ball was caught by Raheem Harvey.
Yeah.
There's the offensive coordinator for the Packers, Ryan Taylor, calling out the plays there in the middle. A tough seat tonight on the roof. Nowhere where to run from the rain.
Hey, it's not raining here in the booth, Drew. What's going on, you know? Well, the coaches, I'm surprised they didn't kick us out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's raining. Tough guys up there, but you really do get a better vantage point from up there being a coordinator.
Jarvis Stewart will have a Packers first down. As Mark, you're switch gears again after tonight and focus on the college game. You're getting set to head up to South Bend, Indiana as the radio color guy for USF.
Oh yeah, we're excited. It's be a great opening game there for the Bulls to get an opportunity to go up to South Bend, and really this young Bulls team is dynamic. They're fast, they're fun to watch, and I'm proud to be part of the program.
Stewart once again makes the cut. Jarvis Stewart showing no effects from that injury he sustained as Brian Poole comes up and stops him before he would have made another cut and waltzed into the end zone.
And really a nice kick-out block there that allows Stewart to step up inside. He tries to go to the next level and bounce it outside, but good speed in the secondary by Southeast to bring him down.
8 carries, 83 yards for Jarvis Stewart, as a timeout's going to be called. And when you look at this Largo running attack, Mark Robinson, I know you're new to the high school game tonight after a lot of years from calling games for our channel, but this Largo program back in 2007 ran Bryn Harvey, who's now at UCF, 52 times in a football game. He was cramping up, but they kept on running him. It was a game against Countryside in the first quarter. Jeff Carlson and I constantly reminisce about the night that it was. Moral of the story, Largo will run the football down your throat. They do not care.
And I like the philosophy. I think that a lot of times teams with the spread offenses like to get away from the run. They want to spread the field. They say it's a quarterback league in the pros, so it trickles down to college, goes down to high school. But, sometimes the big guys win. And if you can run the ball and be aggressive physically, you can take the heart out of a defense and run at them. And I kind of like that philosophy. And right now, Largo, down 21-6 here. They're knocking on the door, but they've gone back to their game plan, and that's what they should do, and they've had success.
Yeah, this is an extremely disciplined program. Isn't that right, Brooke Bennett?
True, you're absolutely right. Kind of reminds me of my swimming days, but you've seen this in this drive with the Packers. They didn't lose confidence, and they're driving back down the field, getting the momentum. Rick Rodriguez really takes control of this team. Summer practices are mandatory for these kids, and you can see it here with even Jarvis back on the field tonight.
Stewart, this time swallowed. A nice play made by Michael Bowden. A junior defensive lineman right there to catch him in the backfield.
Yeah, and really Stewart does a nice job to hold on his football because Bowden does a nice job of trying to strip this ball in the backfield, maintain possession, give yourself an opportunity in 3rd and long on this situation.
That's the cousin of Waymon Bowden, former Southeast running back. A 3-year starter is Michael. 8 plays, 81 yards on this drive, and once again looks like movement across the front.
Got him on the hard count right there. And I mean, right on second time on this drive where Brown has changed up, gone to the hard count. Largo's held their water. They stayed in there.
Prior to the snap,
Southeast to jump
on
off.
the defense, half the distance to the goal, still 3rd down.
That makes it a 3rd manageable now. I tell you, you got a lot of different plays from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 3.
Especially with a quarterback like Juwan Brown. Stewart trying to get to the goal line, and he will. Touchdown, Packers.
Just like that. See, you get a penalty and you come back and you shorten it down a little bit. You're able to change the play and run an interior play. Stewart does a nice job of, keeping his legs moving in there, holding on to the football. Look at the extension right there to get in the end zone. That's the difference. He wanted it a little bit more on that play, and he was rewarded with the touchdown.
And it doesn't look like Largo is going to go for 2 here. So they will kick the extra point. Morgan Seaver on to do the honors. Nearly blocked, but it's up and good. So Largo is back into this football game, 21-13. It's amazing what happens. It wasn't just the drive in Jarvis Stewart. It started with the defensive stop, and now the offense picks up that momentum and goes the length of the field.
Yeah, it really does. And talk about bringing your team together. I mean, you sit down there, you saw Coach Freed come out and really, kind of give it to his kids and try to get them going. They make the defensive stop, and you're right. They go back to their game plan. Run, run, run. They throw a pass. Run, run, touchdown. And then, now they're back in this football game, 21-13.
Well, some of the storylines we're following in Pinellas County this year, the chase for a regular season continues. Countryside and St. Pete, 2 teams played all of 2010 and did not lose a regular season football game. Then there's the quarterbacks. Mark, we saw these kids at that Ignite Elite Combine back in March. Gray Crow going to Miami. Pete Dinavo from Eastlake. Louis Pappas, Tarpon Springs. Juwan Brown and Billy Pavlock from Palm Harbor U. And then the top recruits, Dante Fowler, a Florida State recruit. Jeremy Powell says he's going to Gainesville from Lakewood and Pinellas Park.
Yeah, really a great opportunities for these kids to measure themselves against their competition around the counties and really see where they are. A lot of times you go in a game and you really can't see, well, how well does this guy throw an out route? How do they play? But really coming together like that, especially the quarterbacks from the Ignite, I think really benefited drastically in that program.
Did you do any more shuttle drills after you left? It looks like you had a lot of fun with that while you were there.
Yeah, shuttle. I laugh because it's funny in doing it there. I know how to pull something. If I'd have went at it hard, because that's the only way I know how to do it. I'm on off. I can't temper it. My wife, she teased me, "Don't hurt yourself anymore. You can't do that anymore." I said, "Yes, I can. Come on."
Well, don't rule out an onside kick in this situation for Largo. there it is, a short kick. In this wet playing condition, didn't look like it went 10, but Southeast able to jump on it at the 34.
Yeah, it looks like I was looking for the beanbag. Normally they'll throw the beanbag out there on the field, and they even marked it short of the 10-yard limit that it had to go prior to being touched there. So Southeast Seminoles should maintain possession of the football. You called that one, Drew. Man, you coaching up here, huh? I see you.
I've seen these Packers enough. So first down for Southeast at the 34. Good football game we're seeing here tonight. And Mark, after being away from the high school game so long, you impressed by what you've seen so far?
I am. I like the level that these two teams have displayed this evening. They've come out, they competed, they're hanging in games there, and guys going both ways, but still coming in executing. And early in the season like this, hard, especially offensively, to execute like this. Normally the defense is ahead.
How about Courtney Allen? I'll tell you what, 5'7", 180 pounds, and he's delivering the shots out there right now.
Oh, he really is. And I said that comment smooth. Now look how he's able to bounce that ball and get outside the defensive end, then shows speed there, but he doesn't run out of bounds and run over by the water cooler. He still delivers a blow at the end of the run. A lot of power in this kid's running.
That's a 20-yard run. I'll tell you what, when you're a running back, you're 5'7". I think it works to your advantage when you have those kind of quicks, because he just comes out of nowhere. First down. Braxton Johnson dumps it off. Woodard, nice grab inside the 35. The flag is down at the 40, and we'll check the marker.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on there. And extended on what you talked about, Drew, being a smaller back there. A lot of times those backs can hide behind the big offensive lineman, and as a defender, you come up, you can't see him. I remember having the hardest time tackling Barry Sanders. He was, 5'8", and he's sitting behind. He was so quick. He'd get behind his guard. You look, where is he? And all of a sudden, you poke your head around. They get an angle on you, and then all of a sudden, Barry, you're looking at his big numbers. We say, the big numbers on the back of his jersey. Because oh man, another 80-yard touchdown.
On the play, an eligible man downfield on the offense. That is declined. Holding on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Don't like seeing the big numbers. Go back to that.
Yeah, we've seen contrasts of styles tonight in running backs. Jarvis Stewart for Largo, Courtney Allen for Southeast. Similar numbers, but man, you talk about thunder and lightning.
Yeah, both those kids have really, showcased themselves today, and it's early yet. We still got a little more than half left of football, but both these guys done a dynamic job for their team.
Woodard up to the 40, and just so happens that today is Courtney Allen's birthday. So the young man playing extremely well, just a sophomore. The Southeast Seminoles, impressive in this first half. Second down and about 6 coming up. Braxton Johnson, a little bit of confusion there with the football, and he's just going to get back to the line of scrimmage at the 40. Nearly disaster.
Yeah, really dangerous play there. When that ball gets stuck out there, it's easy to get a hand on it, get it popped away, make a turnover on the play. Instead, they're able to hold on this football, but you're still going to have a 3rd and long. It's going to take a good play to get a conversion.
So now 3rd down. If Largo could get a stop here and possibly get the ball back before halftime, Packers will be well suited for the second half. But that's not going to happen if Miles Braxton Johnson can have anything to do with it. A first down catch made at the 31.
He's just really doing a fine job back there, quarterback, of managing the game. He's not pretty. He's not throwing a tight spiral. He's not 6'5" and got that that moxie in there. But he's a winner. He's a leader, and he's leading his team right now.
First down, flag down to the sideline, and catch made by Jacob Sannon. But a flag is on the play. This one's coming back.
This guy never
got. It's going to be a procedure against Seminoles, so they're going to back up 5 yards. Coaches aren't happy about that. A little bit of little bit of chewing going on. Peter Ward down there getting all on him, but.
You know, Mark, you look at these two sidelines tonight. Southeast, I mentioned the numbers, 52 players. Largo with 33 players. Rick Rodriguez.
Legal shift, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Head coach of the Packers has just said that he thinks the economy has had a big impact on kids playing football. A lot of kids these days are taking part-time jobs and finding other things to do rather than come out and play football. Largo High School only a few minutes away from Indian Rocks Beach in Pinellas County, as this is up in the air and intercepted. Derek Webb makes the play, and for the second straight time, the Largo Packers defense makes the stand.
Boy, and Derek Webb is doing a fine job. He's been coming underneath all these routes throughout the day. He's not getting any fanfare, no real any accolades, but then this is his chance. He's still running underneath it. All of a sudden, the ball bounces up in the air, continues to the football, gets the interception for his team.
So 28 seconds to go before the end of this first half. The umbrellas come out once again as the rain starts to pick up. And now the Largo Packers from the 26 will go back to Jarvis Stewart. Stewart's going to be gang tackled after picking up 5 as a flag comes down, and this is going to be holding on the Largo Packers. But with only 33 players on that roster, just to expound on that, Mark, sometimes you don't realize how tough it is for players to come out and play football. Coach Rodriguez has some of the toughest practices that you'll ever see out of a high school football coach. He says, Drew, I can't tell you how many kids come to practice and watch, and then they decide.
10 yards from the spot, replay first.
They decide, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks.
I better stay in class, because not going to get a scholarship playing football, because that's hard stuff. But yeah, you talk about it, you see those guys, but also on the difficult side is you got 33 players. These guys are going both ways. They're playing special teams. Think about that. You talk about tired. You go home and get a Gatorade at night. Your body is just worn down because you don't have what Southeast has right here has so many players to come in and rep you, to come in and play and give you a break throughout the game.
Final play of the first half, and Jarvis Stewart is going to be tackled. They finally get him on the ground at the 24, and that will do it after an exciting first half of play. Largo takes the opening kickoff, and Derek Doss races 91 yards for the touchdown, but then Southeast dominates the game. 3 straight touchdowns. The Packers come back, a big run by Jarvis Stewart, and then a touchdown run by number 20, and there's your score, 21-13. Let's send it down on the field to our Brooke Bennett.
Thanks, Drew. Coach Meckley, we got a game going on here, but your quarterback, you talked last week about him being a little bit stiff. Looks like he's really starting to feel comfortable out there in that position tonight.
Well, I think he was earlier. Now we get the drizzle and the rain, and it makes it a little more hard. It makes it a little more difficult to have that same kind of confidence. He would have had a nice pass completion there, but went through our hands. But he did some nice things out there in the first half. You're right.
Any changes now with the offense, with the rain coming down? Are you going to make adjustments? And I see Brian Poole is out there a lot more tonight now.
Right, he's playing a lot more, and we'll find a way to get him in the ball game a little bit more in the second half on offense as well. And we'll just keep picking away and see if we can't try to wear him down a little bit.
Thanks, Coach Meckley. See you in the second half.
Thank you.
Okay, Paul Meckley heads to the locker room as Seminoles lead by 8. We've reached halftime on the Bright House Sports Network Game of the Week. We'll send it to the studio and our halftime show. That's coming up next on Bright House Sports Network. Well, we hope you enjoyed our halftime show from the studio. Now back to Southeast High School. Drew Felios and Mark Robinson in the booth, along with Brooke Bennett on the sideline. 21-13 is your score. After an exciting first half, the Largo Packers took the opening kick and waltzed right in for the touchdown on a Derek Doss 91-yard return, but then Southeast comes right back. Courtney Allen, dynamic, and half number 1 takes the screen and waltzes into the end zone. Allen was something else.
Oh, really dynamic player, very smooth, able to, make people miss in the field, run with some power, and kid's got speed.
And it was Trey Laws taking in the pass from Miles Braxton Johnson. Braxton Johnson impressive. And the score was 21-6. But then, Mark, here comes Jarvis Stewart.
Well, really, after a big stop by their defense, they were able to, get back on offense, and they do it on the ground. Look at Stewart. After an injury, comes up and comes up big for his football team.
There they give it to him near the goal line, and a nose for the end zone. So important, Mark, in football. When you get inside that red zone, can you punch it in?
Yeah, the extension and things gets him in, and you know keeps his team in the game.
Look at the turnover situation so far. Largo has put it on the ground twice. You know, with the rain coming down tonight, that's going to be a key factor, is the players have to hold on to the football. And then also time of possession. Southeast simply was able to have the ball longer, Mark, and spread out Largo defensively.
Yeah, and it was even worse than this until the end of the game, where Largo had that one long drive to make it closer as far as time possession. I mean, really, the first quarter was just dominated by the Seminole, and they were able to do that.
So Miles Braxton Johnson, an awesome first half. Can he duplicate it in the second half? Dave Angelo, Ryan Taylor, Largo assistant coaches looking on from above. Back to Southeast High School. After this, you're watching the Bright House Sports Network Game of the Week. Southeast 21, Largo 13, here from Manatee County. And this 2011 season, the 50th anniversary of Southeast football, their very first varsity football team, started playing in 1961. So to honor the past 50 years, Coach Meckley has put together quite a celebration. Mark Robinson, every single home game, they celebrate a different decade of teams. Tonight, they honor the 1970s.
What a great idea. I tell you, the pride of this program and getting the opportunity to come back and be acknowledged for, from many years ago, and you see a great turnout this evening of those guys coming out and getting honored. It's just a great thing for the program.
Yeah, Coach Meckley, a great job of coming up with that idea. He says that just sat around, it was suggested to him, somebody in the program, that, hey, why don't we honor the program this way? He said, that's a great idea. And they've taken it and run with it. And this week, Mark, as we're talking to Coach Meckley in his office getting ready for tonight. He's also the athletic director here at Southeast. So as we're talking to him, the phone is ringing off the hook. Hey, Coach, I'm John Smith from the 1976 team. Oh, yeah, I remember you. Inviting guys one by one to come be a part of this football game here tonight.
Yeah, that's amazing. The personal touch of having that interaction with those players, and that's what makes them so special, coming back to this program and supporting them, because really that's what you want. You want to be able to come back to your roots, and I think some other organizations should take a page out of their playbook on this and do the same type of situation.
This summer, Bright House Sports Network ranking the top 20 high school coaches in all sports. Paul Meckley from Southeast coming in from our panel of experts at number 2.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that says a lot. I mean, he's been with the program, and you can just tell. I met him at the beginning of the game, and such a nice man. Well grounded. Some guys think, oh, I made it to this point, and I'm such a great coach. But Coach Meckley really, he has a way with people. You can just tell.
There's Matt Kitchie, former Southeast Seminoles star, former coach at Land O'Lakes, now the head coach at Leto High School in Tampa. As this ball is taken by Rakeem Williams, and Williams gets it up to the 40-yard line. Some hard hitting going on down there. And as you see these two teams take the field here in the second half, you see a little bit of swagger in the Largo squad.
Well, yeah, and as they should. I mean, Largo hung in that game. They were close in that second quarter of getting almost put out of the game. Should have the Seminoles been able to go down and scored. Instead, they held on defense, and then they were able to score themselves. And now they've got a football game, and they believe that they can win this football game.
So the drive for Southeast will start at the 39 as you get a look at Sean Barker. This Largo defense wants to start the second half with a stop to keep this momentum going in the right direction. Oh, Poole able to elude a defender, but eventually tripped down, and it's going to be a 4-yard loss on first down.
Yeah, and really not well executed on this play. The penetration just kills the play. Poole does a nice job of kind of timing up this play here, but again, nice job by Derek Doss to force his play to bounce outside and allow the coverage to come in and make the tackle.
Barry Brown also in on that play. Second down, 14. 4 wideouts in the game for the Seminoles. They'll hand it off, but not much. as Courtney Allen stopped in his tracks at the 34. Well, Brooke Bennett talked to head coach Rick Rodriguez of the Packers. And Brooke, what'd he tell you?
Well, Drew, I think you know Rodriguez pretty well, and he's never going to tell you that his team is out of the game. He's enthusiastic. You know, he said we came out like we were supposed to. We put those points up on the board. It was really important for us to get 13 now, and they did make a few adjustments in defense as they were having a little bit of hard hitting there and some hard hits to some of the guys. But, you know, this team is ready, and they're confident to come out here, and we're just going to see what they do now for the rest of the night.
There's another hard hit. Brooke hit it right on the head as Lakeith Daniels lays the smack down.
Yeah, and, you know, just a nice job there of coming up and making the play in the flat. I mean, this is a 3rd and long in the situation. If you come up and you want to keep the ball in front of you, make the attack, and really a nice job, Derek Doss outside making the big hit.
And Chris Skukelek able to get to the quarterback and rush the throw of Miles Braxton Johnson. That was a prototypical Largo defensive stand right there. It's Jordan Grabsky, 2nd generation player, back to punt. Raheem Harvey is standing at the 30. That's the first 3 and out of the night for this Southeast offense.
Largo turned it up a notch, I tell you, defensively right there. Beautiful punt.
Up to the 10-yard line, Southeast with good pursuit downfield. Peterson Foy able to make the stop, and Raheem Harvey lucky that wasn't a complete disaster.
I mean, such a brilliant punt there. I mean, the punt really set it up there, and you know, Harvey was able to eventually field this football and nearly got some yards, but you know, the pursuit down there. Both teams have turned it up defensively here. You can see that they figure this is a big game right now, and these guys have turned up the intensity.
So first down for Largo from the 10. That was a 55-yard punt by Jordan Grabsky. He put it in the air big time. First down now for Juwan Brown from the 10. Handed off, and another big run for guess who? Jarvis Stewart picks up 13 on first down, and I'll tell you what, he runs so hard.
Well, we had a couple of coaches come in at halftime there, and they're talking about, said, you know, you don't even realize this kid Stewart just doesn't get stopped. I mean, he is the toughest player that we know of, and you know, and it's very indicative of that play. He gets a big hit, and all of a sudden he comes back in the football game. He bursts this run off. It's like, didn't that kid just get hurt a few minutes ago?
Now 100 yards for Stewart. Nice play made by the Seminoles. 33 right there, Rakeem Williams. Linebackers for Southeast holding up so far. Southeast with good experience on their defensive front. Billy Roberts, Michael Bowden, Rakeem Williams, all of them bring a lot of game time to the field. There's Williams, 25 tackles last season, 5 for loss. Second down and 10. Looks like some movement up front for the Packers.
Part of the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Didn't get a look at who did the false start there, but the referees did come up, and they are going to penalize Largo on the play. It's been one of the interior linemen probably.
Hey, check it.
The backs and the receivers were all in place.
It's been a wet night here at Southeast, but thank goodness no lightning has come through, so this game has kept on going. Now 2nd and 15, Largo trailing by 8. Juwan Brown looks for Skukelek, and the pass is dropped. Looked like right off his hands, and luckily looked like that hit mark could have been a little late, no flag.
Yeah, it could have been, and the officials done a nice job of not calling plays like that, but that pass was thrown on the money by Brown. I tell you, he puts this right on the hands. This, you know, Skukelek really wants to get this ball back. He should have caught that pass in the flat. Would have been a big play for his team.
3rd down and 15. Largo, first real 3rd and long situation. Juwan Brown looking downfield. Lakeith Daniels, speedy at wide receiver, but Brown just overshoots him. and Largo will have to punt.
Yeah, 2 3-and-outs here by both football teams right now, and we saw an offensive juggernaut in the first half, and now starting to slow down a little bit, but the defense is starting to really dig in right now, and sometimes that's adjustments at halftime, Drew. They go in, coaches come and say, you know, if they're going to do this, they're going to run this type of front, or they're going to run this play, hey, we're going to change a little bit. So right now the advantage has gone to both defenses. Let's see what the Southeast offense can do when they get the ball back.
Back to receive this punt is Courtney Allen. Guarantee you, Largo does not want any part of him returning this kick. It does take a Largo bounce. And he'll be down at the 34-yard line as now Southeast and their offense will come back on the field. Our media poll once again. How about those Armwood Hawks last week on the road against Bishop Gorman, one of the top teams in America, team from the Tampa area, goes to Nevada and wins a big game on ESPN. Mark, I know you were smiling.
Yeah, you gotta be proud for the homers. You gotta be a homer. And at Armwood, a great program there, and they've had some great success there. So you're seeing, reaping the rewards by, and they're deserving. I mean, when you go up there you go up there in somebody else's backyard and win a big game like that's big.
Definitely an attention getter. Allen, tell you what, so far this Largo defense, they are waiting for him as Sean Barker was there also, big number 9. Now starting to take over, Harry Brown. This Largo defense, ever since they came out of the locker room, they've got their game faces on.
Well, they really do. I mean, they made some adjustments, it looks like, on the interior where they're able to get more penetration. But then it's just, the psyche, getting your players fired up, getting them refocused to say, hey, look, we're in this football game. We make a few plays, and we're going to come out of here with a victory.
2nd and 12 from the 30. Pitch. Allen goes head-to-head at the 32. A flag comes down. And that's not going to gain much. Let's check out the infraction. Boy, Sean Barker, 75, is playing some football right now.
Yeah, he really is. He's clogging up everything right now, just being a disruptive force on the inside. And
this looks like a hold.
Holding,
right in the middle of your
offense.
screen.
That penalty is declined. Third down.
Man. Can I have the next dance? I mean, I got both arms around him, That's pretty easy for the officials to see. But again, you saw the push there by, Sean Barker, really, creating that holding play and getting a big play for his football team. Looks like they're actually going to decline and take the play, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Braxton Johnson on the rollout. They get him from behind. The Largo defense. Good pursuit by Harry Brown. And another big defensive stand, the 3rd in a row for the Packers. Largo starting to grab the momentum.
Yeah, and really almost a horse collar there. You could see Southeast was calling for it, but no call on the play, no infraction. And, again, there's that closing speed there by Brown. Harry Brown just does a phenomenal job with his hand strength to hold on to the jersey, get Braxton Johnson down on the ground.
So 4th down and 12. During the 7-minute mark, Jordan Grabsky back on the field. His last punt went over 50. Let's see what he's got here. Inside the 35 and down near the 30-yard line as we saw Jeremy Frew, the defensive coordinator for Largo. Brooke, this is a big night for him. First regular season game as the defensive coordinator.
Drew, you were talking about Jeremy Frew earlier, and he spends a lot of time on the football field. He's energetic. I talked to him about being promoted to that defensive coordinator job after Matt LePayne went over to Palm Harbor. He says the energy, the excitement, it's there, and when the game gets more intense, his energy level just picks up. And he told me he'd been offered jobs at other schools, but Largo is his home, and he feels like he can offer a lot to these kids.
And he's definitely doing that. So another good opportunity for the Largo offense. Juwan Brown along the right side takes it for 4 yards to the 34. And tell you what, Frew, Mark, is replacing a great defensive coordinator in Largo's football history. Matt LePayne did a tremendous job season after season. The Packers so well respected on defense continually passed over for head coaching jobs, but now he's running the show at Palm Harbor University. Can he take Palm Harbor and make him a football school? That's going to be a tough task.
Hey, it will be a tough task, but, you know, he has great experience, brings a lot of wealth of information to that program, and, you know, gets a great opportunity for him.
Juwan Brown with the fake. Now he'll try and make a move. That Southeast defense responded quickly. Brown still picks up a first down. A flag flies in.
Yeah, another late flag in the backfield there, and, you know, you wonder if they're going to get Largo for a hold in the backfield.
A personal foul coming up on the Seminoles.
The Southeast, all the coaching staff was pointing like, let's go back, take the penalty, and it looks like all indications of first penalty, it was against Southeast, not against Largo.
Foul on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
So a big play, it turns out, for the Largo Packers. Still trailing by 8. Now driving, they've got it in Southeast territory.
And this is what makes games. I mean, think about it. It's an 8-point, you're at an 8-point deficit. You got the ball, you're in your opponent's territory. You just come off a big play. You know, you can get in there and make the difference and tie this game up.
So we'll take a break midway through this third quarter. The Packers are moving, trailing by 8. You're watching the Bright House Sports Network Game of the Week. 21-13 your score. Drew Felios, Mark Robinson, Brooke Bennett. Southeastern Largo, the Packers with a first down and 10 from the 44. And they'll pound it inside down to the 40-yard line. And Mark, being a former high school, college, and NFL football player, the water break, something that has taken you by surprise just a little bit.
Well, it really is, the mandatory water breaks. And, you know, it's a good thing, I guess, these players going both ways, many of them. You got to get an opportunity to get some water, but it's very strategic in the way they're doling them out right now. And you see actually one of the Largo players gets helped off the field, Harry Brown, and you could tell he was cramping up in his lower left leg, and he's over there being attended to.
Yeah, it's no surprise we saw it last week in that Pasco-Hernando matchup when it was very hot up there in Pasco County. This is going to be a delay of game on Largo. So 5 yards, it'll be 2nd and 10. And I'll tell you what, I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, last time these two teams played was the year 2000, a running clock against Rick Rodriguez's team. They were getting routed by Adrian McPherson in Southeast. 42-0 was the final score. Mark, there were days when a Pinellas County team would come to Manatee, they would simply be laughed at. That's how poor the level of competition was. Oh, how times have changed.
Yeah, they really have. And I think I even read somewhere where Coach Rodriguez said something like, you know, we slowed them down in the second half. It was like 35-0 in the first half. And he said we held them to 7 points in that second half. That was great, wasn't it? You know? I mean, that's the way you have to have. That's the type of personality you have to have in a situation that obviously wasn't a prominent moment in their school's career.
Well, we've seen some big hits tonight. That one came from Irvin Bradshaw, a senior defensive back.
But look at the momentum has changed. I mean, it's 3rd and short right now. If, you know, should Largo go ahead and convert here, they've really got Southeast on their heels a little bit. You know, yes, they're trailing by 8 points, but they're starting to execute.
Stewart, feed him one more time. Looking for some room. Jarvis Stewart still on his feet. Looks like he's going to be stopped just shy of the first down. Let's see if they give him the forward progress.
Yeah, it's going to be awful close across the field. You can see the line judge over there. It looks like he is going to be a little short. But what a dynamic run for a short gain right here. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't go for it in this situation in the no man's land, just outside the 35-yard line, and 4th and looks like a yard or less than a yard.
And a timeout will be called. The Packers will talk this one over. A key moment in this football game on the road, a 4th down and 1 from the 35-yard line. And if you're Coach Rodriguez, you know that I think right now is when it's 4th and inches and you're known as a hard-nosed team, there's no secret what you're going to do.
Yeah, you got to pound the football in this instance, you would think. And, you know, that's why sometimes you call a timeout, you look at your odds and see what's going on. You know, are they creeping those D tackles inside and cutting off the A gap and, you know, not allowing anything? You can talk to your players and say, hey, look, what do you think's going to work? Do you see any of your opponent? Is your opponent, you know, can you whoop him? And there's really, you can get a lot of useful information if you're a player's coach that, you know, Coach Rodriguez is. You can come in and make a good decision. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, I got to give it to the Energizer Energy Bunny over there, Jarvis Stewart, because he runs hard.
Well, this Largo program, 6 straight district titles. Right now, that's the longest active district title streak. Well, that's saying something. Right there, tied with Plant. Also, Armwood Pasco tied with 4. The Packers, a big moment here on 4th down. They'll hand it off, and a first down inside the 20 as Harry Brown takes it up to the 27-yard line. A player is down on the field after the play, and hopefully he is okay.
I think Skukulek is down. You know, looks like the players called over the trainers, so it sounds like it may be a little more serious in this situation, but a first down nonetheless for the Largo Packers on the play. Looks like they're looking at his left leg.
Usually when the leg is up like that, it's cramping.
Yeah, and that's, you know, normally when you hear a player shout like that, you want to get the trainers out there, but if it is cramping, really that's a fortunate thing. You hate for it to be any type of knee injury or ankle injury at that situation, but you're right. When they start bending that toe back. Look, I heard something about a rumor about how do they handle these cramps these days. You know, it's down here in Florida, it's so hot.
Well, we saw away last week with the pickle juice. I'm a fan of the hydration early in the day. And you know these two teams are going to be hydrated, Jesuit and Plant, because I'll tell you what, it is going to go down tomorrow night in South Tampa.
That's an excellent matchup there. You know, if only, you know, if only you didn't have Jeff Carlson doing that game, you know, it'd probably be real good. See, I'm getting some good shots in. When you got the microphone, you know, I can get my guy Jeff. But I'm sure you all going to do a great job. But you're right, a big matchup, a huge matchup there. And, you know, I got to make sure I give me text me on this one. I'm up in Notre Dame. Tell me who wins this one.
Well, Plant is the team that comes in with everything, having the 3 state championships. Jesuits still climbing the mountain. Coach Wiener saying this week we've got everything to lose, pretty much, not much to gain from this matchup. The Tigers want to knock off the Panthers, but let's take one more look at the injury. Skukulek is the player down, a key senior for these Packers, and looks like the leg just went out from under him right there. Looks like a cramp. Yeah, he's holding the leg right there. And Mark, it brings me to this camp season for high school football players. When practice started on August 8th, you saw rare two-a-days this year. The high school game has almost followed the NFL game, rarely going two-a-days. Heck, when you were a player, they were going 3-a-days at some times. I mean, how do you think the game has evolved? Do you think it's for the good that they're not practicing as much?
You know, I do. I think it's going to take a lot of the pounding off the players' bodies by going down from a two-a-day scenario to a one-day scenario. And, you know, players on the professional level are going to gain a lot more years in their careers. But, you know, it's going to trickle down. I mean, high school is going to look at colleges, college is going to look at pros, and I think that you'll start seeing that where, yes, you should probably, you know, you can go through walkthroughs. There's a lot of learning you can do. I mean, particularly with technology, the way it's changed. I mean, talk about that. In the paper, the Bucks now give everybody iPads, and they download all the cut-ups. If I had cut-ups like that, I could sit at home and 3rd and 3 to 7, goal line, red zone, you know, coming out, going in. I mean, that has helped so much. I think that you can take some of the on the field time away because of the technological advances and still be able to get the learning that you need to succeed on game day.
Skukulek walking slowly off the field. Keep in mind a very hot area down on the field. And Mark, we talked about it before the game, how some of these kids play on the interior of the defensive line like Skukulek is tonight, then line up as the tight end and constantly go at it. There's not much time to rest.
No, it isn't. It really isn't. You know, you turn around and you put your defensive mindset on and turn the other way, and it's offense. And it is. It's very difficult for these players have to be conditioned. They have to train for this, and, you know, you continually try to progress and do that, but there's no way to really, you know, simulate the games. I mean, you have practices all year long. Until you get out and you're in the game and you're going both ways, whole different ball game.
Definitely a different level, a different speed, a different type of exertion. Or Southeast. Take a look at Matt Brazelton, the defensive line coach for the Seminoles. Down to the 22. Nice run by Derek Doss. His first carry from scrimmage tonight. Matt Brazelton, a coach on the Southeast side that offers a ton of energy. As Sean Barker now on the turf, and right now this is not looking good for the Largo Packers. Sean Barker is hurt.
Yeah, he's in obvious pain.
I'm going to guess, even though he is grimacing, that this is a cramp as well. Hopefully that is the case.
Man, dropping like flies out there. And, you know, again, I remember my trainer when we were practicing in the pros, they always talked about hydrating days ahead of time. I mean, it's not something you do the night before or the day of. Even with the electrolytes and, you know, things they have now today for the, you know, the pickle juice that they talked about. But you've got to do some different things in preparation for it. And, you know, and sometimes you can't even prepare for the worst case scenario. You talk about how muggy it's out there. It's hot. And these kids are, you know, really struggling right now to get through the ball game.
Yeah, Brooke Bennett, last week we saw the pickle juice put into effect. We were kind of joking about it, but this is no joke right now if you're Largo, because players are dropping like flies right now.
You're absolutely right. And, you know, we talked about it jokingly about the pickle juice, but something's got to be done. And as I said last week, and I'm going to stick by my word, is players need to know that they need to do something days in advance. This has to be, whether it's multivitamins that they're getting into their system, potassium, which is going to eliminate the cramping, because once you get to the game, and as we talked about Largo's numbers, 31 players playing two ways, when we get into the second half, this is what's going to happen. So, you know, if any of us have woken up with cramps before, we know it's not very comfortable, and you can stretch it out, but the chances are it's going to continue to tighten up through the rest of this game, and we don't want to see that hurt the Largo Packers with the momentum that they've gained right now.
Well, Mark, what do you do right now if you're Largo? You're in this situation. You've put yourself back in this football game. 3:16 left to go in this third quarter, but you wonder, do the Packers have enough for a fourth quarter as a lightning strike off in the distance of John Kiker Stadium?
Yeah, well, we'll really see out there. And, you know, right now the guys are going down with these cramps, and you're looking for fresh bodies. You're looking for people who can not only get in there and participate in the game, but understand what you're doing, you know, and that's the hard part in there. And these are impact players. I mean, Sean Barker, how many times we called his name out there, seeing him on the ground. How big a part of the Largo's team is this kid? It's a bunch, and he's, you know, he's needed on this football team, but right now he's having some problems with cramps.
So let's take a short break. 3:16 in the third quarter, 21-13, and not a good sign right now for Largo. Hopefully Sean Barker is okay. We'll be right back. Well, that is a load right now coming off the field for Largo. Sean Barker to the sideline. Kellen Phillips, one of those helping him off, along with Michael McCabe. And Barker cramping up. The Packers limping to the finish line here on this opening night of football. And Coach Rick Rodriguez wondering what is going to happen next. Brooke Bennett down on the field with a special guest. Brooke?
Well, you know, we all know Peter Warwick, and this is familiar ground for him. He was a part of this 93-94 championship team, your second season as a coach now. How does it feel to be back here on the sidelines now?
I think it's a great opportunity to come back here and show the guys on the team what it's like when you in like this game, it's 21-13. So I got input on the plays that we run, and I got input on what's going on. So I think it's a great opportunity for me.
Peter, you've had a lot of experience at the next level, and I know over the summer you were really able to break down and really connect with these kids and teach them things that they're probably going to see at the next level.
Yeah, I think the best thing is that when I come out here, I can let the guys know what I've been through. You know, it's kind of hard when you're listening to guys who hasn't played at the next level. You know, I hear guys say, man, you ain't did this and you ain't did that, but they can't come back and say that to me.
You look at the development this program numbers getting up. Is this the Southeast program that you kind of remember back in the day, and we're getting back to that?
I think we're getting back to it. You know, it's just, it's a timing thing, and, you know, we getting better as a group, but I think that for us to be better, we need to come together and play together and be as one.
Well, Peter, I know you got to get back coaching, so thanks for taking time out for us.
Thanks for having me.
Here, we'll send it back to you guys.
Peter Warwick, a legend here in Manatee County and in Tallahassee as well. 4th down and 1 for the Packers, and this is going to be awfully close.
It's going to be close. The way they're coming across and going to mark this as the line judge over there, really close.
Depends on the spot. Southeast thinks that they've made the stop. And the Seminoles have made the stand. Matt Brazelton, defensive line coach, out on the field congratulating his boys.
Yeah, and really just a nice job. This is about penetration. When you get in these short yardage situations, if somebody can come underneath, and you see that flashing in there was number 12, Jimmy Porter, and he's able to submarine through there and really make the big play of the game and stop the drive by Largo Packers.
So a 1st down, tough break for Largo. They turn it over on downs, and now from the 18, Southeast will take over. Under 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter as Trey Laws makes the catch at the 23. And the more that this Southeast team, Mark, spreads out Largo and makes them run sideline to sideline, the more energy they exert and the more possibility for cramps.
Yeah, that's what they should be doing. I'm sure that, you know, coaching, you're trying to win the football game, and I'm sure that that comes into play, the thought process of they're spreading it out, they're doing some things out there to get the ball outside. You know, you have to look at Largo. You may have to take some chances on these short passes. They're timing routes thrown by a quarterback, you know, Braxton Johnson, and you can maybe get an interception on the play.
That pass incomplete. So the 3rd down coming up. Meckley's team, 3 straight touchdowns in the 1st half, but it's been a while since they've been able to really put together a nice drive. Miles Braxton Johnson started red hot after not looking so sure of himself last week. He has led this offense tonight. 3 of his last 12, though, and this is going to come up short. Catch made near the 28-yard line, a great spot, but still a 1.5 yards shy of a 1st down.
It's a little closer than that. They're looking hard at this one, right, Drew? They're going to let them have it. I tell you, they moved it up. You know, it was funny because both lines judge, they normally line up straight across from each other. One guy was behind the sticks, one guy was in front of the sticks, and they gave it to him, gave it to the guy in the front.
So a great spot for the Seminoles, and they'll move the chains. 1st down and 10. Here's Allen. Courtney Allen, 4 yards to the 34. Courtney Allen, Mark, benches over 250 pounds. As just a sophomore, he cleans 265. So strength building in this young sophomore.
Oh, yeah. And I keep saying the speed you see in this guy, you don't expect that out of the frame that he has.
That pass is dropped. Kadarius Carley out in the flat is Courtney Allen's mother. Very proud, rather his grandmother in the stands here tonight.
It's a family affair out there.
There's his mother. I'll tell you what, you see some of the food being eaten in the stands. This has been a well-catered affair tonight in the press box, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Got a little Chick-fil-A going on up here. It's all good, you know. I can't do that, though. I got to stay on my Weight Watchers, you know.
I have been fighting to hold you back from those Chick-fil-A milkshakes here tonight. In the press box is Laws. Takes it up near midfield. A big-time play by Trey Laws. All 6'3" of them for a 1st down.
Well, really great concentration on the outside. He makes a nice catch on the sidelines, and then instead of going out of bounds, he steps back inside, is able to elude one defender and pick up additional yards. Nice job. 6'3". He's got good hip swivel for a 6'3" guy.
4 receptions here tonight. Big touchdown in the first half that made it 21-6. Good looking receiver. Here's Allen again. Stopped in the backfield. Nice pursuit. As Francisco Hernandez, who's been kind of feast and famine tonight.
Yeah.
That time it's a feast.
Yeah, that was a real nice job. Again, a penetration, and I like the way he brought his feet and the way he was able to take some ground and make a play.
So we've come to the end of the third quarter. No scoring in the third quarter. The score stays at 21-13. So the fourth quarter beginning here on BHSN. Drew Felios, Mark Robinson, and Brooke Bennett from Southeast. A great high school football game we've seen tonight. But the third quarter characterized by cramping, especially on the Largo side. Sean Barker and Chris Kukulek, 2 seniors and stars for the Largo program, going down. Haven't seen Barker back yet. He was carried off the field, and Largo just hoping to survive this contest right now. A 2nd down and 12 for Southeast as they're near midfield. They're fired out, and that pass dropped by Larry Woodard. The wet ball mark coming into play big time.
Well, it really is, and you're seeing that if the ball, this ball was a little behind on the actual pass play right there. But again, you got to come up with that reception there. That's why defensively, we saw earlier in the game, we saw Derek Webb come up and get an interception. They're going to be tip passes, so you've got to come up as a defender being really alert and aware that you may get a ball bounced up in the air and get the interception.
3rd down and long. Braxton Johnson, after a flag comes down, will try and take it up, and Largo right there to meet him. Hats are flying all over the field. The Packers, led by Johnny Williams that time, make the stop.
Boy, the intensity level on both sides is just really just turned up so much this second half right here. And that's good closing speed there. And now look at this, Derek Dawes. Ooh. That's the pad level. That's what I'm talking about. When you get the pads lower than the other guy, normally that's the result.
Also Tyler Gilpin on the stop with Doss. So it's 4th down. Raheem Harvey standing at the 10-yard line. Grabsky back to punt. Bobbles it and able to get a good kick away. Harvey will let it take a bounce, and the Seminoles right there to pounce on it at the 14-yard line. This Largo program, Mark Robinson, just to get you up to date on the high school football world, they have been just outstanding, sending players to Division I football. Dexter McCluster went to Ole Miss. He's now playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Bryn Harvey continues to emerge at UCF, coming back from an injury. We'll see how he does this year. Leonard Johnson, all Big 12 at Iowa State. He's going to be in the NFL. And then the rest, youngsters. Mike Mary, Mike Lang, Mike Douglas, Darius Rayner, all trying to make their mark this year in college football.
Yeah, it really speaks volumes of this coaching staff and what they've done and what they've been able to produce out there. That's a lot of good coaches, some good athletes, and some hard work.
Marcus Stewart, more tough running across the 25 to the 26 as the Southeast Seminoles war chant is heard right now. Stewart running downhill.
Yeah, Stewart's a sophomore. This kid's impressive. He came back from the injury in the first quarter, and he's done nothing but impress after that. He's a very hard-nosed runner, and he has no quitting.
First and 10. Feed Stewart. Packers keep feeding number 20, and he picks up 6 more. What did that assistant coach from Largo say when he peeked his head in here at halftime, Mark? He'll play until what?
Yeah, he'll play till you carry him off the field. That's the way you can just tell. And he works so hard and he wants it so bad, and you can tell the character of a player when you see that year in and year out. He was talking about the younger levels as he grew up and said, I've known this kid for years. He has no quit in him, and that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Here he is again on 2nd down. This is close to a 1st down, maybe a yard shy. And you get the feeling here that Largo is going to shorten this game and continue to try and pound this Southeast defense. That was the game plan going in, but Southeast was unstoppable offensively. And when you trail 21-6, it's hard to stick to that game plan, Mark, and then, you know, things kind of get away from you.
Well, it really is, and, you know, I really like that drive, the last scoring drive that they were able to put together. They kept it on the ground. They stuck with their plan. They made the plays, and right now they're going back, got a page out of that playbook and doing the exact same thing here in 3rd and short.
Juwan Brown eludes a tackler. And this very close to a first, right at the marker. It's going to depend on the spot, and they will give him a first down.
And, you know, Brown is doing a nice job of eluding, but he's got to work with his body and try to know where the first down is. He's got a long, rangy frame, and a couple of times he's scrambled and gotten close for the first down. As a quarterback, you've got to have good field presence where you can extend the ball and get the necessary yards for the first down.
So first down and 10. Again, it's Stewart. Not going to get much. Southeast defense waiting for him. Jason Collymore, number 90, there to slow him up. Also for Isaac Pinckney, came out of the secondary. Both of these teams played on different nights last week. Largo played on Thursday night against Clearwater, and Southeast played on Friday night against Fort Myers. What that did, Mark, was allowed each team to go scout each other. Usually high school coaches will just swap video, but they had a chance to see each other in person.
Yeah, and that's valuable when you can see, because sometimes the film you look at, is that guy that fast? And once you get out there, ooh, yes, he is that fast. So you like to see that. And I kind of thought they'd come back to this play, that this is what they had success before. They ran the same route, that triple route, the triple level route over there, hard play action pass. They completed again, and I'm wondering if they're going to hold the catch, because the ball did bobble at the end of the play. But again, this is that 3-level, and here's the intermediate crosser, the tight end coming across, and you know, another strike there by Gilpin. That's a catch.
Tyler Gilpin makes his first catch of the game, a 19-yard gain for the Packers. And it's a first down. Juwan Brown. Boy, a win right here in this environment over Southeast would really be the biggest of his career so far.
Yeah, and you know, Largo's just hanging around. I mean, they're starting to execute. Defensively, they're doing a fine job. Offensively, they're running the football well. And you seem to think that the momentum is changing a little bit right here. A break here or there, and they got this football game.
Flag is down after the rush by Stewart. And a holding on the Packers. So every yard critical now as we approach the 8-minute mark, and Largo trying to tie this football game. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, they do. But again, right now, Coach Rodriguez has to be happy with this football team. They came out with some determination here in the second half and really have changed the flow of the game, and they've taken over the momentum. The crowd is awful quiet. I mean, it's a big crowd here, and they're sitting on their hands right now because the Packers are packing it in and doing a nice job running the football.
This will march the Packers back.
Holding, offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Largo High School, around 1,700 students. Amazing when you have those kinds of numbers in the school. Only 33 on varsity football. It takes a man to suit up for the Packers for sure.
That's it.
That Seminole War chant, popular around the country. Stewart, nice hole, and Jarvis Stewart with a head of steam down to the 30.
Yeah, right there, I tell you. That's something special right there. You start to see, when you see Stewart, notice after he gets touched, how many yards. It's yards after contact. And he just keeps moving his. He had about 10 extra yards after he got touched, where he should have been tackled, and he gets the first down.
161 yards rushing right now for Jarvis Stewart. And Mark, I know after the game you're going to tell him what a great school USF is.
Hey, I can't go for any recruiting violations. But kid's got skills there, and he's really done a nice job for his football team.
Eric Dawes stacked up in the backfield. 55's played big time tonight. Michael Bowden on the stop.
It's one of the plays just to rest Stewart, I think, right there. Because he has been exceptional running the football, and coming back into the game right now. And right now, the Seminoles really don't have any. I can't see them stopping them right now. they really haven't been able to hold them unless they've had a penalty that's kind of pushed them back. They've got to dig in defensively and start making some plays.
10th play of the drive coming up right here. Juwan Brown, incomplete. Brian Poole got his hand in there. And number 24, every time Southeast needs a huge play, 24 seems to be right there.
Yeah, I mean, that kid's got skills. I mean, that's a nice play on the ball. Notice he got away with a little arm where he put it down on the lower back here of the receiver, Harvey, but a beautiful job playing the ball and not just playing the receiver. At this level, a lot of times you see young players, they're running at the receiver instead of trying to really make the play on the ball. Quite a different contrast there by Poole.
Yeah, Poole, an outstanding defensive back when it comes to tackling, coming up and making the stick. He's got some ball skills, though, as well. He showed right there. 3rd and 12. Juwan Brown under pressure, and he'll go down. The Southeast defense, led by 34. It was Peterson Foy, junior linebacker, able to put him on the turf.
Well, under 7 minutes right here, and you wonder what's the decision here. Do you go for it in a situation like that? It's a long 4th down conversion. You can give Southeast great field position, and I think that's why they ran that play. I think they wanted to be a 4-down territory. They felt like they had to go for it, but instead they got a short gain and 4th and long.
Keep an eye on Raheem Harvey at the bottom of your screen, matched up with Brian Poole on a 4th down and long. Juwan Brown going to try and get out of trouble. Now throw it downfield, wide open and incomplete.
Oof. That was on the money. I'll let you know that was a catchable ball, and you know that Raheem Harvey is just disappointed that he wasn't able to catch it. A little bit beyond his reach, but that hit looked like both hands right at the end there. Been a tough catch. Great throw here. Great vision downfield by Brown. Nearly a huge play.
So a near miss by Raheem Harvey on the pass from Juwan Brown. And Largo still trails by 8. Back to Southeast after this. A critical play in this football game as Southeast leads Largo 21-13. Juwan Brown nearly hooked up with Raheem Harvey. It would have been a touchdown, but instead it's Southeast football from the 34. The Seminoles can close this game out now with a long drive.
Yeah, they can right now, and they don't have to score. I mean, they really just want to move the chains, hold on to the football, and really make Largo make a play and come back and beat you.
Courtney Allen rushes for 3.
And you think about that play back there where Brown throws the ball deep there, to Harvey. And, he could have taken a little air off the ball. Harvey was so wide open, and Brown threw it was a perfect pass. Now, I got to give it to you. It was a catchable pass. But if he threw a little arc on the ball and allowed Harvey to adjust to make the catch there, that could have been a touchdown, and we could have been looking at nearly a tie game.
2nd down. Call it 7. Allen surging forward. And Southeast going to keep this simple as Allen picks up a little more than 1. Sean Barker is back in the game for the Largo Packers. Big 75 is checked back in on the interior. He was carried off the field late in the 3rd quarter.
And then Derek Webb comes up with a crunching blow there. That was a big tackle because now you get 3rd and long in the situation. He came up and forced the 3rd and long. Now you got to almost make Southeast throw this football, and that gives you an opportunity for an interception.
3rd down. Right side. Laws makes the catch, and let's see where they mark it. At the 42. It's going to be short. And it's going to be a little short. So if you're Southeast right now, Mark, what do you do? 21-13. It looks like the Seminoles are going to kick it away.
Yeah, you got to punt this. You're up 8 points. Even if Largo's able to score, they've got to convert on a 2-point conversion. Play the clock. Under 5 minutes to go right now. You're at home. Get your fans into it. And this is a smart move.
Well, school is back in session around the Bay Area. This the 2nd week of classes. Boy, summer just flew by so fast, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Now it's work time again.
But this weekend, the football season officially gets underway, high school-wise and college-wise.
Yeah, and it's exciting, with the the pro situation over there for all the lockout and everything. It's good to get back to where people have a release time where they can go back, watch a little football, and just enjoy their team, their alma mater. It's an exciting time. I love football. It's hard at home. Nobody wants to watch football at home but me. What's wrong with that? I got girls at home. Man.
Jordan Grabsky has had a great night. A huge punt, 60 yards that time. Grabsky on special teams. How about Brian Poole on defense tonight for Southeast? Every time Largo has had something going, it seems like 24 is in the vicinity. There, an interception in the first half. He's been Juwan Brown's worst nightmare here.
Yeah, he forced a fumble, got an interception. That's a few breakups. This kid's all over the field. I'm checking my program to see if there's 2 24s in it, but it's only one, But that's him out there making plays. That's a good testament. You tell he's prepped for this football game.
Couple yards for Stewart. Poole headed to the University of Florida. He, along with Jeremy Powell of Pinellas Park, pick up the Gator recruits from our viewing area. We also throw in Matt Jones from Armwood. And University of Florida's got some ballers coming to Gainesville.
Yeah, good program up there, so they're attracting them.
Nice ball fake from Brown. Now he's got to get out of trouble, and he's running for his life. Juwan Brown. Ball comes out of his hands. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage at the 7, but a dangerous play from Juwan Brown.
Yeah, very fortunate there, but also right at the end of the play, look, almost a face mask there. That would have been just crucial in the situation for Seminole. Because you see right at the end of the run, you're going to notice that Brown's running to his left here. Now look, that could have easily been called a face mask. Came across, didn't hold on to the mask, but I tell you see those calls called more times than not.
So it's 3rd and 9. Huge play for Largo. As time now a factor. Under 4 minutes for Brown. Looks to step up. Under pressure. Heaves it downfield. Flag comes out. And it's not even close. And it looks like a hold it's going to be on the Packers.
Yeah, because of the incompletion, they'll probably decline this, seeking to get the football back with 3:40 remaining in the football game. And, you almost have a sense that if Largo has to throw the football, I'm not sure if they can come back. If they're able to run the football and have success running the football, I think they've got a better shot because, obviously, the big plays they've had on pass has been the play action
that penalty
pass
is
set up by
declined.
the run.
4th down.
Aside from that play to Tyler Gilpin, Largo hasn't really been able to capitalize on that play action. You'd think that Jarvis Stewart rushes for 160 yards, that eventually that big play is going to be there. It hasn't really been there. They haven't really been able to find it for the Packers.
Yeah, they haven't. They ran that play twice, the triple level pass, and they've completed both of them. But you can't go to the well too many times because teams start to see it. You have to have a change up, and it looks like they're going to take a timeout right now and talk this over, but not much to talk over inside the 10-yard line. It'd be tough to make a call right here.
So in the final minutes of this game, Southeast looking to close out the Largo Packers. It'd be a huge win for the Seminoles, looking for another playoff appearance. You want playoffs? That's what Southeast football is all about. Most appearances by the Noles than any other Bay Area school, Lakeland and Manatee included.
Yeah, and again, I go back to Coach Meckley. I tell you that's a testament to him and what he's done and had at this program. And right now they're on the verge of a big win, like you talked about. I tell you, Largo came out with a lot of emotion in the second half here, only trailing by 8, but no scores. We're scoreless in the second half.
Look at those banners. Not enough room on the scoreboard. Surprising we were able to squeeze a banner underneath all that tradition.
No, we got bottom slot. What's going on?
Let's see, you got 10 right there. If they win this year, Mark, there's no room underneath. They're going to have to ship our scoreboard out of there or put it perhaps right over our channel 47.
That's right.
Timeout called. Largo didn't look like they wanted to punt on that play, and Southeast was quick to react. As Stewart was in the game, also Juwan Brown was in there. It looked like Largo wanted to take a shot.
Well, you know, you get caught with your punt return team in there, okay? They didn't go to a punt safe in that situation. There was a lot of their punt return team, no big guys up front, you know, and really that would have been an opportune moment to run the football right at smaller bodies and possibly convert on the play. So an alert play by the Seminole coaches. They call timeout so they can adjust their package of players on the field.
So the Southeast Seminoles will deal with their district not until October, whenever they face DeSoto. There you see 5A District 10, all the shuffling going on this offseason with the reclassifications. Bayshore, DeSoto, Hardy, Palmetto, and Southeast. That Palmetto squad, much improved. Palmetto, a program, Mark, that had to move on after their head coach Raymond Woody joined Willie Taggart, a former Manatee football star at Western Kentucky. And a lot of Southeast players have followed. Jonathan Dowling, star for the Seminoles now in Western Kentucky, playing for Taggart. Here's Juwan Brown trying to make a play on 4th down, and there's nothing there. Brown's going to keep the play alive and pick up a 1st down. Oh, what a play by Juwan Brown.
And that was the first time at the end of the run where Brown really knew where he was and he extended himself to go for the 1st down. Because if he makes this break, and you watch at the end of the run here, he's going to cut across the field. Now, if he tries to bounce this outside, he's in trouble. Instead, he slashes inside and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
So a thrilling play, and one that we'll remember if this game goes down to the wire. Largo now with new life after converting on 4th down and long. Now Brown under pressure, and he's not going to get out of that. The ball came out as well. Brown able to pounce on it at the 5-yard line. Tough play.
Yeah, and really with the clock running like that, just over 3 minutes right now, I'm surprised they didn't go back to a draw or something. They were trying to set up the screen, and the rusher got in there too quickly. They really, that little slip screen they ran effectively early in the football game, they didn't stop the run, the penetration first.
And now you see some of the result of this being the first game.
False start on the offense. Half the distance, replay 2nd.
Some of the kinks clearly not worked out for the Packers in key situations tonight. They've been their own worst enemy.
Well, they really have, and really what you need to do in a situation like that is you have to take control as your quarterback. You've got to come in there and settle everybody down, and because the intensity is really picked up in this football game.
They try and set up the screen, and they get it. Stewart makes it up across the 5, and that's not going to get much back to the 7. Largo has got to get to the 30-yard line for a 1st down. Still 23 yards to go to move the chains.
Yeah, they need a dynamic play here. And again, you see Southeast is spreading the field. They've got, they've got a lot of athletes on the field that can run and get around and make plays. And you've got to be able to get some space for your players.
Brown will heave it up. 2 players out there. And the Packers can't come up with it. It was nearly intercepted. That was a ball that was easily catchable, but 2 Largo players ran into each other.
Well, when the ball goes up like that and floats, you're exactly right. Who's going to call that? Who's the pass for? Was it thrown in a general area right there? Now you're looking at a 4th down situation right here, and you're maybe running out of time. It's a 4th and over 20 right now, and a difficult one. It's particularly backed up right now for the Largo Packers.
Tyler Gilpin and Lakeith Daniels, the 2 that collided that time. And now a last gasp for the Packers. They try it downfield, and nearly a remarkable reception by Reggie Moore, just off his fingertips.
That's another drop right there. That again was a well-thrown football by Brown, and it could have possibly been converted right there. Been a very difficult catch there, but this is catchable, and the receivers got behind. I mean, that's 2 drops right there, and you can say what you want, and if you're pointing around and saying, well, what happened? How did we not, win this football game? But there's a couple of key plays that some guys had the opportunity and they just couldn't convert.
Largo is going to look at that film over and over and over again. Southeast controlled it in the first half, but the Packers had their chances to turn the game around in the second half. Ball on the ground, and Largo not done just yet. Amazing turn of events.
And it is, because I see some of the fans about to leave, and all of a sudden, you know, you take knees in this situation. You got, I mean, it's a minute 42, and you end up trying to run the football, and you know, and the penetration gets it again right there. Never really got the football. You saw that right there, that Courtney Allen never really got the football. Possibly did it hit the fullback first and dislodge out of the hands of quarterback Braxton Johnson. But in any event, Largo's got another shot.
It was Devin Porter who pounced on it. And never say die, these Largo Packers. Boy, what a game this has been on this opening night of the regular season. Everybody now on their feet.
Afraid to run the football.
Brown trying to get out of trouble. And he'll go down at the 6-yard line. Good job by that Southeast defense, not letting him get away. I'll tell you what, 33 Rakeem Williams has been exceptional here tonight along the defensive front.
He really has. I mean, the penetration right now, he's pinning his ears back, and he's going after number 10, Brown. And he's just, you know, he says, I'm going to get you on the ground. And you know, I'm surprised that Largo isn't coming back with a little delayed draw, because it really sets up those guys get upfield and you get some big yardage.
Brown steps out of pressure. Still won't go down. And now he finally hits the turf. As this time Peterson Foy wraps him up. Mark, is he holding the ball too long? What's going on down there?
You know, he's unable to make any reads down there because of the pressure, and I think that he's not comfortable in the drop back situation. Just to drop back and read downfield, you got to get him moving, and that's when he's had the most success throwing the football, moving in the pocket as the defense changes and throws the ball downfield. Right now, when he stays in the pocket, he's got no shot.
So Largo right now will talk it over. The Packers and Coach Rodriguez and telling his offensive line right now, hold your spot. Don't let the penetration come through.
Hey, I'm getting the ball to number 20 somehow, and I don't care. If I was coach, I'm sitting over there. You know, Jarvis Stewart needs to touch this football, and we got to get it to him quickly. You don't have to throw a 60-yard pass. You know, you're going to complete a small percentage throwing those deep passes instead of getting them to your playmaker in a short area, let him make somebody miss and make the play for you. And I think that, you know, sometimes you try to get beyond yourself, and I think that's a good opportunity here for the Packers should they want to claw back in and get in this football game.
Well, it's been an up and down night for quarterback Juwan Brown, a player who tore his meniscus in week 5 of last year, missed the rest of the regular season. Could have come back and perhaps played late, but Coach Rodriguez said he's too young, too talented, cannot risk further injury to number 10. Number 10's made some big plays tonight, but can he lead his team 93 yards in this situation? He'll step up here, split that defense across the 20, and he's to the 25. That's good for a first down, and the clock now becomes a huge factor.
Yeah, and that's the strength there of Brown. Ron Brown, I mean, that he lets the pass rush get up, and he makes a play with his legs. He does get up a little gimpy right now, but he's got to hang in there, get it back to number 20, and see if he can make a play for you.
They'll spike this one just to give this Largo offense a breather. Right now, I think these Packers are absolutely gassed.
Well, you know, you look right now, and in this situation, you should have some type of trick play developed, practiced, and done. You know, what comes to mind to me is the hook and ladder. Okay, you throw it. The defense is backed up right now. You got an exceptional running back in there. Throw a little hitch route, a little 5-yarder, catch it, play possum a little bit, let him come around, flip him the ball, and see what happens.
These Largo receivers have been awfully quiet tonight. Lakeith Daniels and Raheem Harvey have not made a big play. And most of that is because of the Southeast secondary. They throw this one downfield and incomplete. Daniels the intended target at the 42.
Yeah, and that's, you know, those are the difficult passes to complete. And again, you know, if you have a corner playing off 12 yards and a receiver trying to run downfield, I mean, it's going to be difficult to get beyond the corner and throw the ball over his head. So, normally what you do is you're going to run somebody deep and bring somebody shallow right beneath it, draw the coverage and catch the ball, run out of bounds, and then run another play instead of trying to get it all at once.
Mark, both of these receivers, only 2 catches between them, Daniels and Harvey. Southeast a tremendous job defending them tonight. Here's Daniels, just as I say that, making a move and getting near midfield at the 48. Keep an eye on the clock at 20 seconds.
And their coaches are calling the clock it, so you should come up and clock the ball. You're just outside the 50-yard line right now. That was a big play, and just hang in there.
So Juwan Brown will likely spike it here. There it is. 19.6. But Largo just won't go away.
Yeah, this one's not over. I tell you, both teams are tired. Remember the cramping. I mean, and you know that both teams are sucking wind right now. And defense for the Seminoles have been out there, and the Seminoles have been out there a long time. Those guys are tired. You've got to make somebody mentally, if someone's not mentally sharp, then you can lose the game right here if you don't make the play.
Brian Poole, a contender for Bright House Sports Network Player of the Game. That's if the Seminoles can hang on here. Brown done a lot of scrambling and cannot get away, and that the worst possible play because the clock keeps on running.
Yeah, he's got to throw that one. It's at under 8 seconds. I don't think they're going to be able to catch it and spike it in time. Be close.
They'll spike it with 2.4 seconds left, and Juwan Brown looks like he is just about out of steam.
Yeah, he's played hard. You got to give it to him. The kid has played hard. And his last play, 4th down, 2.4 seconds.
He's got the arm.
But look how far Southeast is back there. You're going to have to try to catch it in front of them and then make somebody miss, or this one's over.
It's also 4th down for the Packers. The horn goes off, the ball's in the air, and this game is over. So the Southeast Seminoles will hang on 21-13. It was the defense of Southeast coming up big, even when Largo started to gash him a little bit with Jarvis Stewart. Southeast got all of their points in the first half, and Mark, they simply would not let Largo get over the hump.
They wouldn't, and it was a good defensive matchup in the second half. Both teams played well defensively out there, and it was just a tough game there. It's tough to even have one winner or loser in this situation. Both teams played hard.
When we come back, Brooke Bennett on the field with the Bright House Sports Network Player of the Game, and in our post-game show, the head coach of the Southeast Seminoles, Paul Meckley, joins us on the field. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Bright House Sports Network, a special Thursday night where Southeast dominates here, 21-13, the final score as they open to Largo with the win. Of course, the player of the game, Brian Poole. This is your first game of the season, choosing to stay out of the game. So how nice was it to be back out on the field after missing preseason last week?
Well, it was great or whatever. The team stuck with me the whole time, and just a warm welcome back.
A warm welcome back. As a senior, you are that firm commitment to the University of Florida. Telling me, you're sticking with the orange and blue, you bleed orange and blue, but what do you want to finish up here at Southeast as this season is now underway?
Well, my goal is doing the state championship and everything, but we're just taking it one game at a time right now.
We know that you can play both sides of the ball. We saw you a lot on defense with that interception. Mm-hmm. How comfortable are you feeling out there, and how is that ankle starting to treat you now?
Well, I feel great. A lot of hard work to get back, and I paid off tonight.
Well, congratulations, Brian. I know this is your second Bright House Sports Network player helmet. Congratulations. And when we come back, Drew Felios and Mark Robinson will join the coach of the game, Paul Meckley.
All right.
Well, back here at Southeast High School, the Seminoles 1-0 on this 2011 high school football season. They beat the Largo Packers by a score of 21-13. Back here on the field, Drew Felios along with Mark Robinson. Brian Poole, the player of the game defensively. And altogether, Mark, really usually that goes to an offensive player, but Poole made huge plays in the secondary tonight.
Well, he did. He came up with the big interception. He forced the fumble, and he was around the ball all the time. I mean, this kid, he has a nose for the football. He played well, and really, he was the impact of this football game.
I think, too, kind of ironic that you're on the crew tonight, a defensive player, former safety, defensive back, and a defensive guy gets the Player of the Game award.
Well, I do all the voting now, and that sometimes it happens like that, Defense wins championships, right? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Somewhere?
Absolutely. All right, we're waiting for head coach Paul Meckley to join us. Here's Coach Meckley after his Seminoles win by 8. And, Coach, kind of went into this game not knowing what to expect from your offense. And I'll tell you what, your quarterback simply was outstanding. Miles Braxton Johnson. I know Brooke asked you about it before halftime, but altogether, was that the difference in the game, the offensive attack flowing?
Well, I think early in the game it was, yes. And then I think as we got in the second half, our defense, was forced to hang on because we couldn't do anything offensively. And, probably the deciding part in the game was that the last 2 punts by Jordan Grabsky that really changed field position. You guys know as well as I do that field position is important. We had them down here, and, then we fortunately our defense stops them, and now we get the ball back, and then we turn around and fumble. So our defense had to play like crazy late in the game.
Coach, speaking about defense, now you came out. What adjustments did you make at halftime? Because, you really shut down a powerful running attack by the Packers.
Well, I think one thing we did was just talk to our kids that this is for real now. I think there was some of that, you go in the locker room a little bit up, and the only touchdown they had was, the score on the opening kickoff, which kind of, shell-shocked us a little bit. And I think we kind of regrouped and got together and made some adjustments and played hard.
The story in the third quarter was cramping. On the Largo side, though, I know you've experienced a lot of that in your program in the past. As a head coach and one who's had so much experience, how do you approach that, Coach?
Well, I don't really have the answer. It's just we were just lucky tonight. It's just load up with water, replenish with water, and if you're in the NFL like you've been, you can get IVs and all that kind of stuff and get back. But you just tell the kids to hydrate during the week before the game, not just before the game, but the day before, and replenish during the day before the game. And fortunately tonight it didn't happen to us.
Coach, taking a big breather. If I can have one more question,
Sure.
Taking a big breather. What did you learn of your football team after this game?
Well, the thing that I feel we came away with was an improved play by our quarterback and our receivers. The ball was thrown on the spot. It started to rain, and we dropped a couple passes in the second half, but we did a better job of putting the ball where we wanted to in this game. We didn't get quite as much going upfield with the running game tonight, but since they were sending a lot of guys at us in our face, we had to survive with that, and we did a couple times.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, great to be back in Manatee County with the Seminoles. Tonight, Southeast gets a win, and just another day at the office for Coach Meckley in his 31st season as head football coach. 21-13 final score. Mark Robinson, final thoughts.
Well, it was a great game. Both teams can walk away here, I think, and hold their heads high, because I saw a lot of positive things on both sides. And to me, we expected that type of game. We expected some hard-nosed defense. We expect some explosive plays on offense, and we got that.
Yeah, we definitely got that. Well, tomorrow night we head to South Tampa. The Plant Panthers hosting the Jesuit Tigers, the second half of the second game in 2 days here on BHSN. It's sold out. So if you're not going to the game, you want to join us on the broadcast. Until then, for the entire Bright House Sports Network crew, Mark Robinson, great work tonight on the high school level.
Good job.
A professional effort
Loving it.
on the high school level. Mark, thanks. Also, Brooke Bennett, good job down on the field. For the entire crew, I'm Drew Felios. We will see you next time, tomorrow night in South Tampa on the Game of the Week.